Hello!
Hello?
We're back.
Hello.
We're alive. Sort of.
We're here.
Hello?
We're like 85% alive.
85%. Are you working at 85%?
Oh, I'm working.
That's pretty good, actually.
No, I'm much lower than 85%.
I was going to say, that's giving yourself a lot of credit there.
I
don't know that I'm
being
an
nice.
Hey, Liver, thank you.
Paint liquor, 15 months, liar.
Paint liquor, 15 months.
Oh,
Mo, what's going on?
It sounds like it feels longer to him, though.
Hi Gosu, hi Relapse, hi Wad Tomato, Lion, hello, Paint Liquor again, hello.
Well, huzzah,
Mo,
huzzah.
what's up?
I'll just throw back my legs
Go,
and
Sue, what's
salute my
happening?
breeches with delight.
Today is the blessed day of the signature sets. 13 months of you painting and 13 months of our friendship. 13.
13.
Fabulous number. Go, Sue. Glad to see you.
At least it's not a Friday, because otherwise that'd be really, really scary.
Friday the 13th, 13 months.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a not so blessed day. The opposite of blessed,
Well,
in
huzzah,
fact, potentially.
huzzah. I'll just
T.
throw
Schmidt.
back my legs and
Hello!
salute my breeches with
52
delight.
months. Holy crap. Too late to quit now. Keep it going. Hello, Solo. What's up? How are you guys all doing? It's been so long. Thank you, Scrubbly Dumpus, for the happy B-Day. Thank you so much.
Jordan had a birthday while we were gone at Gen Con.
Yeah.
I got to meet his grandmother
You did get to meet my grandmother. She's very small.
and his father. She is tiny,
she's
by the
tiny.
way. Like, super tiny.
She's very, very, very small.
And I made a promise to that woman, so I have to uphold it.
Uh-oh, what'd you promise?
I promised that I would make Jordan paint her model nicely. He's going to paint the Morgan and the big statue for her.
I promised her that I would get her that model and I would paint it for
Awesome.
her for Christmas. So.
For Christmas, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's always loved all of my work, and she always gets super excited when I paint stuff, and she absolutely loved the Morgan model.
Cool.
So I said because she came on Sunday with the rest of my family.
They all came to the show?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool to meet him.
nice.
And they
He was very brave. He brought them by the booth.
did. I did. It was an experience. It was.
Well, you're still here, so they didn't obviously feel like they needed to rescue you.
No.
Or maybe they felt like
No.
it, but they didn't actually take that step of rescuing you from Jason.
Yeah. It was funny though. So I had gone out to visit with my family the night before, because my grandmother's birthday is on Friday, and my birthday was on Sunday. So we
And there were
split the
other
difference.
people, right?
Well,
Like
I mean, there's a
bunch?
lot of birthdays
Yeah.
going on. We got a lot more to come. My
Okay.
mom's is on the 10th, and my stepdad's is on the 15th, are the next two. So I got to be careful. No, not limited palette paint liquor. But so I went to visit them on Saturday, which was great. And then on Sunday, I bought them all tickets to come to the show to check everything out. So my dad, my grandmother, my stepmom, and my stepsister came. My stepsister had a blast. She was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy."
Oh, did she really enjoy it?
Yeah, she was
Just seeing
asking
all the
so
notes?
many questions.
Yeah,
She
cool.
was like, "I need to know about all of this."
Cool.
Well, because she's also like, she's an architect, so her job is like art
Sure.
related,
Design.
right? Design art related. So she finds what I do really fascinating. So she was asking like tons of questions. She was just like, "What's all this? What is this? How did you get started in this?" Blah, blah, all that, right? So that was really funny to have her ask all these questions. And my stepmom does not speak a lick of English, or well, she speaks English, but not very well.
What language
So-
did she speak?
Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah, they're Venezuelan, so.
okay.
So she's working on it, but she's very she's not very confident in the English that she has, so
Well, how
she doesn't
long
like
has
to
she been
speak.
speaking English?
She's been learning it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But she's struggling with it. I mean, English is a
It's-
stupid language,
and,
so
And the older you get, the harder it is.
yes.
to learn
And
that
she's
language.
my dad's age, and she's never learned how to speak English, so yeah, she's very nice. That family is awesome.
Yeah.
My step brother and stepsister are very cool, which is really nice because I grew up without brothers and sisters, which was unfortunate for me because I wanted one. I did end up finding one, a surrogate one, Aiden, who you've met, which was great. So shout out to that man. He was wonderful.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's pretty better than okay.
He's okay.
He's a pretty
not as
cool
good as
cat.
I am.
I might just be too
Jason?
far away. I'm kind of pushed back because I have
I
a
love you
computer,
dearly.
I'm trying to answer an email.
But unfortunately,
Careful with your next words.
he is second,
I want you to be very
he is
careful.
second best.
I want you to
only.
be very careful with your next words.
You're number 1.
There, okay.
He's number 2. Or you know what? He's number 1.5. But you know where you rank in my heart of hearts.
Hayden, how do you feel? Your boy can be bought. Your boy can be bought. We had a good time at Gen Con.
We had a
time.
great
We have
time.
an amazing crew, so it makes going to shows a lot easier. As I said in my post on Facebook, they held me up the whole time. Allowed me to be an idiot. Came and found me when I got lost trying to find the show. I had no idea what was going on. I don't do well in like theme park amounts of people, and Gen Con is theme park amounts of people.
Oh, it's
like the worst day to
insane.
go to Disneyland. That's Gen Con.
Yeah.
So I literally was not wanting to be there about 90% of the time,
Yeah.
other than when I was at the booth. So it was very easy for me to just lock myself to the booth.
Yeah.
For that reason,
And
because
it
I
feels
did
not
not
so
want
bad.
to leave and go wander around.
Yeah.
Phil kept asking me, like, have you eaten anything? I was like, no. He goes, why don't you go get some food? I go, because if I stand in that line, I'm going to jail. And he'd look at me and he'd go, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they had their snack bag from their road trip was
And you
there.
were just, like,
so for lunch all
pecking
week
at it.
long, I was like eating chicken and biscuits, the chicken and a biscuit
Crackers.
No.
and like goldfish.
No.
Yeah, it was horrible, but
Or
horrible in the best sense of the word. So it was all right.
My goodness. Yeah.
Go Sue, I know where you live.
Twitch
Twitch
Summer
Summer, it was
Win.
great meeting you for a brief minute.
Yes, it was.
Good to see you.
Thank you for stopping by the booth. It's always fantastic to meet all of you in person because we get to hang out all these moments here
Buffalo
on
Spin
stream.
Shot says want to hear all about Gen Con. It was great. I mean, it really was
a lot.
great. Phil and Gabe, new guy Phil, and newer guy Gabe,
Jabe.
right? Gabe, son of Jason.
Son of Jabe.
I love saying that with Jabe, son of Jason. But new guy Phil and Gabe did like superhuman driving. So they left on Sunday afternoon here, and Jordan and I flew out that Wednesday, right? Because we streamed Monday, Tuesday.
Yes.
And we flew out Wednesday. So they had left that Sunday. They were literally there setting the booth up while we were streaming on Tuesday.
Yep.
And so by the time Jordan and I landed, the booth was done. All I had to do was set up the point of sale system and hook up all the electronics and plug everything in.
Yep.
And Jordan set up his paint station, and we went out to dinner. So those two are heroes in my mind, like hero mode.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all jazzed and having a good time. You could tell they had a great time going to the show together, so that was great. And then, Thursday rolled around and we got started, and Thursday was just bonkers, like legit bonkers from start to finish.
Yeah. It was a lot of things. Like
It was
talking.
a big like tidal wave of humanity hitting that exhibitor show floor, and we were literally jammed talking to people from front to back. It was just like Adepticon there was no like huge line like we had at Adepticon, right? But there were 5 million vendors to see. So
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised at the amount of interactions we had on every single day of the show, not just from business, but because we are not really what Gen Con caters to, right? As miniature wargamers, that's not really Gen Con's focus. There's more miniatures there now, but it really is. I mean, there's a lot of cosplay. There's a lot of it's just board games, right? There's a lot of anime and card games, and
It's a really big mishmash of stuff.
it really is. I mean, it's a
less
big
board games
nerddom
now.
universe, right? But it shows you how small
my
our
britches
little
with delight.
niche of wargaming really is, comparatively speaking, to all of the board games out there. Because there was everything from fun, like Trash Panda board games and, little family games and stuff where one person built a wall and the other one catapulted it down. I saw all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But very little of it is miniatures focused. That being said, Asmodee had like the largest set. They took up, I don't know, they probably took up 10% of the show floor space with one company, and they were largely miniatures based. So a lot of their stuff was there on display, and the Star Wars Shatterpoint, Legion, MCP.
Which is so interesting now that Asmodee is
They're the
so
beast.
Well, but they're so focused on all the like miniature properties.
Yes.
Because Asmodee has a lot of other stuff.
Well, yeah, and they had a ton of board game stuff there too.
They
I mean,
did,
they had all
yeah.
the properties there, and Fantasy Flight with the RPG stuff, and lots of stuff there. So
Yeah.
I think as a nerd and a fan of nerddom, it's a fantastic place to just see anything and
yeah.
everything you want to. I got to speak with a bunch of artists for a lot of our upcoming work that we're doing. We need some concept art done and things like that. I got to speak to some of my favorite artists, and John Stanko, and he wants to work with us, and that blew my mind. Like, he had heard of us, and when I said we're working on some stuff, he's like, do you need concept art? He was like, I was like, do you do that? He goes, I will. And I was like, well, yes. And I'm like, so great. So, yeah, so some people that just floored me that I was able to, like, shake hands with and hang out with and talk to. So I had a lot of fun on that, but I didn't want to be away from the booth. Like, I nearly had an aneurysm just trying to get to the art section.
Yeah.
You know, because there's just too many people. But, yeah, it was great. We had great dinners.
Oh my god.
I succeeded in knocking the socks off of every night's dinner with the next night's dinner as the team went out.
And we started with a good one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
That blackberry lemonade, let me tell you.
Yeah, we went
That
to a
was
place
super
that
good.
was Jordan's recommendation for night one,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't be showing up, so
You
We,
brought your A
we
game,
picked,
that's
we,
for
put-
sure.
we picked some good restaurants. So we had good dinners, and the team was good. We had a great time.
What a capstone of a meal too. Oh my goodness, that.
Revikara said, as promised, I'm tuning in. I told you guys when I did, I would say, hey, it's the blonde girl from Gen Con. I love my case and all the paint I bought. Thanks for the transparency demo. I'm
Of
loving
course.
them. Glad I'm not using canvas paint anymore.
Revi Kara. So
Hey,
this
how's
is
it
a
going?
great story. So is your name Kara? Can I call you Kara? So Kara came by, and it was just like excited about painting, and their group was just very talkative, and we enjoyed talking with them. And she was anxious to show some pictures. She had been painting, and she was like, looked at some of Jordan's work, his models there, and was like, my stuff just doesn't look like this, and I want it to, but I think I know what I'm doing. And she showed me some pictures, and you could tell she's a very good artist. She was laying color down right. The color composition was really, really good, but she was using like just Liquitex art paints, so they had a very high satin finish, like almost what we would call gloss, right? And so the whole model was just kind of shiny, so a lot of the blend work was getting lost in the reflective light on the model. And we went through all of that and talked to her about it, and they wound up being great to talk to. It was awesome,
Yeah, it was a
Awesome.
blast.
and
It
they
was
bought
super fun.
a lot of paint.
Yeah.
Bought a lot of paint and are now firmly rooted in the Pro Acryl family. So this is what we do at shows. We get everybody to drink the Kool-Aid.
It was a blast.
Dodson Robotics says, why can't we eat the paint? Because we said so. I mean, do you need a better reason than that?
Yep.
Buffalo says, I've eaten the paint. What's the issue?
Two Cries.
Gross.
Two Cries
Gross.
some more is looking for a paint match. Livery green from Vallejo.
Livery green. I don't know what that color looks like.
I would have to look it up.
Yeah. Oh, Gosu's got him.
Gosu.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Name John. What?
John Ninas.
Hello?
Guess I need to have high standards for our dinner at Nova.
Oh,
well, John,
geez.
you've been a member of Steak
Yeah,
Night
you've
for a
already
while
got
now.
Steak Club.
So Steak Club, John, is going to happen at a Nova if there's enough of us. Now, Vince was at Gen Con, and Uncle Adam was at Gen Con, but they were too busy to hang out with us.
What?
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, rude.
It's a bummer.
Kara says zero regrets.
Bruce,
No regrets. We are very thankful to have you in our little family, Kara. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so
It was
much.
great talking with you guys. Glad you're excited about painting.
John, it'll be good to say hi at Nova. Since it's gonna be just the two of us. He didn't kill me. Yes. Got away with it, chat.
Saw many pics from Gen Con. Everything seemed awesome. It really was. It really was. You got a lot of companies I paint for over there having a great time. Nice. Your work is fantastic, by the way. And help us pronounce your name. I want to say Bicefalo, but I don't know. I'm probably butchering it. Let us know how to pronounce your name. I don't want to wreck it. But your work is fantastic. For those of you in chat, click on Bicefalo Art Studio's name. Go follow their Instagram. Fantastic painter. Alan, thanks for hanging with us.
Hello.
Great work. Love your stuff. Narkill, great to meet you as well. It's just, I mean, for me, the shows are fantastic just from that perspective because we get to actually, talk with people in a more, one-on-one kind of manner. Baby J painted for the whole time, but not really working on models, showing people the paint, right? And our what we joke about is our disco Marines, because we always take a bunch of Space Marines that everybody can try the paint on, and so we wind up with this horde of.
Here, I have them.
Yeah,
I have them right
this
here.
horde of disco Marines. Okay, this is what Gen Con turns out right here, right? I have to admit that we're guilty of some of it too, because we'll sit there and show them glazing or techniques over it. So we get this clown suit Space Marine army at the end of it, and I think what we're going to wind up doing is starting taking more and more in actual squads of Marines, and at the end of it have the family painted army, right? Which I haven't figured out how to make the vehicle part of that work.
It's the 7.
Relapse, that's awesome. And how you doing, John?
The pink shoulder was your fault. Yeah, this one right here.
Did you see all the follows and subs? I haven't been hearing them. So Gosu.
We got Dodson Robotics followed.
T Schmid resubbed.
Buffalo Spin Shot Dad Paxis.
He gifted, Buffalo gifted a sub to Relapse. Thank you.
Liquor.
Yep, anyway, we're glad to be home.
Thank you, everyone.
It is good to be home.
Oh my gosh, my bed. Oh, it's so much nicer. Holy crap.
John says gonna have to try the paints by the snarky Germans today. It's funny because I think Ben and Matt are the most passive people I've ever met in my life.
They're both very, very nice.
Most
They're
passive?
super nice.
God. Okay, that understood.
Right? They're super nice and super not soft spoken necessarily, but kind of.
Matt, I think Matt is fairly soft spoken.
Ben's definitely a lot more social.
Yeah, I feel like he's
pretty outgoing.
Yeah, a little more outgoing.
At least a couple of times that I've met him, he's a bit of our party guy at the shows that I've seen him at. He hangs around, chats all the time, running around doing stuff.
Yeah. Narkill, so you are welcome to come in. We don't have an actual store, no. And that freaks people out when they walk in the door. And they think they're in the wrong place.
It's true.
And every time someone comes in, they're like, am I in the right place? I'm so sorry. And then they turn around. I'm like, no, you're in the right place. Come in.
Come on in.
We don't have a traditional store.
We don't have a traditional store. It doesn't look like a store. So when you come in,
you walk right into the thick of it.
Walk right in, and you're gonna see all the fulfillment people will probably turn around and give you a look, but it's okay. They're nice people, I promise. And we welcome people to come in. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. So as you are getting ready for your trip, keep that in mind.
I love how Panic Bomb says, while you were having your convention fun, I was working.
Hey, I was working too, okay?
Oh my God. Conventions are beat down. Anybody that's worked conventions knows.
Oh yeah.
For real.
It's going to take my feet probably a week to recover. From
every morning is one of a lot of perseverance to just get out of bed, get back to doing it again. It's literally the time to make the donuts.
Yep.
You make that long walk of shame out of your hotel room to the convention floor again.
It's also, that's the other kind of rough part about that show, is that walk from your hotel to the event, or not the events, but the vendor hall.
Yeah.
And specifically our booth in the vendor hall was a pretty long one.
Really?
Yeah, it's maybe, half a mile?
Well, and think about it. We were at the Close Hotel. Think about all the people that didn't have hotels. I've talked to a ton of people that were like, we're 30 minutes or an hour away.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, nope.
No.
But it's great exercise. You guys got your steps in for sure.
Oh, we did. My watch was yelling at me, going, "Holy hell, record set!"
Is this a stolen watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who stole this watch?
Whoever's
Started setting off alarms. This is not my owner.
Closing your exercise ring all week.
8 million circles.
Narkill, your wife is making fun of you for planning your trip around a Monument Hobbies visit. That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I hope it's not a letdown.
Omicron Samurai.
That's a lot to live
Hello,
up to, right
sir.
there.
That's a lot to live up to.
Speaking of another local fellow, Omicron Samurai, how you doing?
Howdy.
Jason was gone when you visited, but it was very nice to see you.
Omicron, aren't you? You're a mailman, right? Are you dying out there? Very sorry. Our mailman, he came in today, and we had Mondays are our busiest day, obviously. So he comes at like midday, noonish, maybe to pick up all the orders that have been boxed up and ready to ship out by that point. On Mondays, the team usually continues. They'll continue to box up orders and put labels on them, even though they're not going to be picked up until the next day. So today he came in and they had all the leftovers from yesterday, plus like 3 carts of stuff from today. And I said, so I'm just going to give you a heads up.
Tomorrow's going to suck.
I'm like, tomorrow and Thursday are going to be real busy. He's like, okay. I'm
We
like,
had a new product release. I don't know if you remember.
Here's some cold beverages for you.
Yeah, I don't know
Did
if you
you
remember
come up?
January.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember January. But
Yeah,
we're
it's
about to
gonna
do
be
that
like
to you
that.
again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to go get some snacks.
just have
we
lunch
good
ready
snacks.
for 'em.
I'll get them some snacks from the snack cabinet for tomorrow.
Just a little goodies bag.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Lion Creative is about to start streaming at the end of the week.
That's fantastic, Lion Creative.
Awesome.
I'm excited to see it. You're streaming on Friday, you said? At the end of the week?
About to start at the end of the week, yeah.
When is that going live? I'd love to check it out. I know you are definitely looking. Yeah, Friday and Sundays. Awesome. I'll check it out.
Tahoe's Angel has the new sets ordered. Can't wait to use them.
Nice.
We will start shipping those tomorrow,
Yep.
and we'll get through as many as we can.
Yeah,
But,
please bear with us
yeah.
as you're ordering. Understand that new product releases around here are an absolute bear. We have today seen the ticker just continue to climb throughout the day as we release this morning.
Yeah.
But the team is on it. Tons
They've
and
got all the
tons and
sets
tons
all
of sets pre-made.
Packed up or made up already, so yeah, we're gonna do our best to get them out. Definitely feel more prepared for the order volume.
Excited for everyone to get them in their hands, start having some fun with them. Obviously, I have fallen in love with quite a few of the colors in the new set.
Yeah, it was nice to really like get a bunch of time to mess around with them while showing people the new colors. Because I hadn't really gotten a chance to mess around with them too much before we went to Gen Con.
I've been playing a lot with the dark burgundies and
Yeah.
emeralds, and obviously the heavy warm white is one of my favorite colors of all time. Nice, PK.
For new sets too.
Nice.
Kyle's Angel says, I don't ever worry about it. You always have the orders out fairly quick. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, new releases
best.
always are a struggle around here because it takes us into overdrive, but we've slowly over the years gotten better and better at getting out in front of them.
The
But as soon as we
slowest-
say that, then the order volume like quintuples from what our expectations are.
Yeah.
You guys are just fantastic
The
with
slowest
the
we
support.
were in fulfillment was when brushes were restocked this
Yeah.
last time.
Well,
It's
it
just
helps too
a
that we
lot.
have such a great team.
We do.
Right.
Yeah, they're very focused.
They get all that stuff out real fast. They don't mess around, which is great.
Avian, hello.
Hello, Avian.
Maverick Minis said, I also eagerly await these goodies in the mail. How different is the finish compared to the others? The gloss and the satin.
So our version of satin, it's been, some people have been getting scared, and I'm like, well, you got to remember, we're basing this off of like how matte our paints are. So our satin and our gloss are not overly
No.
glossy. We can show you some here today, for sure. If you have used like the royal purple and the dark magenta out of the last signature sets. Those tend to be what I call satin, and that's kind of what we're basing the satin off of. Ben and Matt, as artists, really prefer some colors in a more satin finish. They also use a lot of matte color, but as artists, they tend to go towards that trend that very little in the real world is a matte finish, and that's true, right? If we want to paint more realistically, satin paints tend to work with the light in the room a little bit better to give you that kind of realistic trend on how light works. For beginning painters, satin paints can help a lot because it allows the light to create volumes on the model by generating highlights from the light reflecting off the paint, which drives shadows into the low end where the model's creating its own. The variability of that is what we don't like as we start getting more progressive as painters, but it's still fantastic to use for things like actual highlighting on models where, I've been working on the non-metallic gold on the Death Knight, right? I started from a base of like my yellow greens, but using the warm white, the heavy warm white as my highlight allows it to have a little bit of reflectiveness just at the highest level. So just the final highlight on edges is done with the heavy warm white, and that reflects the light in the room and gives a little bit of sheen to what would otherwise be fake metallic, right? Because with non-metallic metal, you're placing all of your reflections specifically and they never change. That little bit of satin color at that highest edge allows light to play along that. The light in the room will move along that edge, and it just brings another layer of depth and life to your models when you're doing more advanced techniques too. So it helps for people who are just getting into painting. It grows right along with you and works great. Now, we will be releasing the matte varnish. You saw us testing it out on stream not too long back. We've got a couple of things we've got to go back and reiterate with it. Right? Now, for the other, you can see the little bit of sheen on her skirt. Right? Like people say, why would you do the satins? And I'm like, well, every other paint line on the planet is what we would call our satins. You see the little bit of shine and reflectiveness to the dark purple that I've worked up here, right? Or on the butt there with the fabric, right? That is how the satin compares to our matte finish, because that's all done with the dark burgundy and the crimson, right? So it's not hyper glossy. Don't get worried about it. We just wanted to make sure we called it out because it is not intended to be the ultra matte finish that our normal paints are. So it's going to be more like your Vallejos and other paints that you're used to out there. But it gives you a neat way to have like the shine of this cloth have an offset from the texture of the skin, which on my model here doesn't have any gloss to it at all, right? But now I have a little bit of gloss on the fabric, none on the skin. So I can start playing with material focus like that with the paints if I want to. Or at the end, I could just use matte varnish and matte all of this down, right? And bring it back to all ultra matte. It's up to me. So it just gives you another tool in your toolbox to play with.
Omicron Samurai, you can stop by any day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And Cajos Angel, hopefully I'm saying that right. And everybody, I'm gonna give you guys a tip on brushes and the brush restock. We won't have sets in stock for a while, but we will probably have some single sizes available in the next couple of weeks. So rather than just going to the website and trying to hunt for them, go to the website and look at the sizes and subscribe to the restock notifications for the sizes that you want the most. Because then if we happen to have 10 or 15 that we put back in stock in that size, you'll get an alert. You'll get an email. And then you can get your hands on some brushes probably a little quicker than if you're just waiting for the sets. And the bot is not doing the commands again. Is there something that I can do? I remember you saying something last time.
It may have gotten turned off. Streamlabs may have done an update. I would have to come. I would need the keyboard and the mouse to do it from here. So
I have the keyboard and the mouse.
We'll try and remember it for tomorrow.
Whenever you need. Yeah, that's really odd.
Well, here, if he's got the keyboard, let me see if I can do it right now. I've got the mouse over here.
I got keyboard. Keyboard.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, we can't have links.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what. Oh. This thing on? Hello? Punisher! Subscribe for 35 months. Holy cow.
Hey, what's going on, Pun?
What's
Good
up,
to see you.
Punisher? Allergies. Okay, we're good. False alarm. So what color out of the new set
Chaos.
is your
Gotcha.
favorite? Chaos Angel.
Oof. That's a tough one.
Advanced flesh tone, probably.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. That one definitely for you because you like to paint from that color of flesh.
I do
most of the time.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's the color. That's the base color that I typically
Yeah, the bot was
choose.
Okay.
So it ended up saving me a lot of time of mixing the right color for the base for the skin tones that I typically like to do.
Hit the chair off.
Yeah, I'll hit the chair off. Boop.
Oh.
Boop.
That happened.
Oh.
Let her do it.
Okay, sorry.
You guys are getting your wires crossed.
Yeah.
She's the producer. The filter by option on your website still needs an in-stock selection. I'm pretty sure it does. All right, check the bot when you get a chance.
Do you want to keep the keyboard?
Hey, look at
over
that.
there? Or do you want me to have it?
No, you can take it back.
Okay.
It just is so long as I see it working. That works.
It's working.
Ooh. We got a working bot. Yay. It's so weird not having the bot working.
Yeah, I don't know on the new sets what my favorite is out of them. You know, as somebody who's so intrinsically involved in picking all the colors, even when the signature series artists like Ben and Matt come in and give me swatches, I immediately make those swatches my babies because I have to figure out how to tune them to the line, how we can maneuver them with existing colors so that they're still unique. And of course, this whole process of making sure that the Pro Acryl formula can work in a satin environment and still have a lot of the properties other than the matte finish that we know and love. You know, I put so much effort into it that by the time we're done, I kind of, you know, they're all my colors too. And so I don't know. It's a tough one. I really, really have grown to love the dark burgundy, but the dark bronze is tremendous. We haven't released a new metallic color since the metallic set came out.
Yeah. And the dark bronze is
Well,
amazing.
The old expansion one.
Well, that's true, but all those colors were originally done. We just divided them up because of marketing reasons. And so since we did the original set, we haven't done any more metallics. And so dark bronze is awesome. Bone is tremendous. You know, can you go back to the two painter?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go do it. I'll let you do it.
The on the skin on my rhino, I've focused on using the brown gray and the bone, and then we've got the dark flesh that I started from on there, not from this set, but you know, it's just they're tremendous colors. Brown gray is such a versatile color. I can see using brown gray in a lot of my metallics. So yeah, there's not a bad color here. Green oxide is tremendous. The dark emerald is great. Dark sea bin is a tremendous color. Yeah. There's not a bad one. It's just not a bad one.
It would be a little weird if there was a bad one.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's why every time somebody goes, what's my favorite color in the line, I do the same spiel. I'm like, all of them? I don't have a non-favorite. There are colors I don't use as much as others, but when I do use them, they are ultra useful for what I use them for. There are just some colors I don't use a lot. I don't use a ton of base pinks. I don't use a ton of base magentas. I don't use a ton of the blues, actually. You know?
Yeah, I don't think either of us paint.
I use the very dark blues. I don't use a lot of the mid-tone blues because I just don't find myself in a space where I paint that way. Like dark gray blue, and blue is kind of where I stop. So sky blue, faded ultramarine don't really come into play as much, but then white blue does. But when I use sky blue and faded ultramarine, they're the only colors that work for some of the things that I want. The new ultramarine, that's not out yet, but you saw me use it on the Shinobi's hair, and that wound up being great. It was the only color that would have really worked there.
Ultramarine is such a cool color.
So there's a lot that just don't find it into my rotation. I paint more desaturated palettes most of the time. The only thing that really jumps off the page with my work is my non-metallic. That's where all my contrast and, heavy, here we're doing kind of a more cartoony contrast on the steel bracelets and gun to offset the darkness of the skin, but I haven't highlighted the skin up. So, it really just depends. I like a more desaturated palette. I grew up working more in earth tones with military colors. And so that for me, tends to kind of be my my wheelhouse. So you've been using a lot of the pink with your Blood Bowl army.
Well, that's cool.
Hot pink is just magenta and red transparent. Legit. Take magenta, mix in red transparent, and you have Jen's favorite color.
Yep.
The day she put those two together and showed me I think it might have been when you paint your little tiger.
Yep.
Right? And she did that blend with that, and I was like, yep, done. Yeah. People ask me, like, how do you get a brighter pink, or how do I use transparent red to get a more vibrant color? And I always show them the picture of Jen's tiger.
Well, and now maybe even dark magenta.
Yeah, dark magenta.
White or something could get to that hot pink.
White would desaturate it. Again, I think that your magenta and your transparent red is the best method. Period. A Baby J signature series would be cool. There could be a bunch of colors you could use to paint a bus, says Gosu. Are you going to stand that from him? Are you going to take that? You're just going to stand there and take that? I'm inciting riots now, Gosu. You've got yourself in trouble.
Gosu.
Okay, you got an impulse buy on the new colors. I really don't need them, but, that was, well.
Thank you.
Payne's Gray is life. Payne's Gray and blue black and dark blue, as you know, are like my root for all of my non-metallic steels.
Payne's Gray is just a great foundation color for a ton of different things.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. It's tremendous.
It's so easy to incorporate.
Too good. Too good.
Just having some fun painting some red over here.
We already have burgundy.
I do.
Yeah, our burgundy and dark burgundy are awesome.
I'm going to need to steal some of that dark burgundy from you here.
I'm going to take some of our heavy warm white right now.
We do need the Easter egg on burgundy, though.
Easter egg?
Yeah.
Ron.
Oh. Oh, yes.
You know
yes.
what I mean,
right? Yeah. It took me a second to figure it out. And then I was like,
that
makes sense.
Make a note for when we reorder the labels for that one. Because what number is it?
I don't remember. Is it?
It's 69.
Is it 69?
It is.
I feel like it's 69.
Is it
So
really?
that's a real teenager joke right there. That's like I just learned the F word.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Point of your life joke.
It is actually 69.
It is.
That may or may not have been completely on purpose.
Good old 69 right there. Boom.
Maverick Minis wants to know if you could only use the new signature sets to paint a model, what would you paint? Like if you had to paint a model and you could only use those colors, which model would you paint?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I never think of color that way. Wow.
I mean, I could probably do these in just the new signature series. I'd have to
dark
adjust.
bronze.
Yeah.
You've got the dark emerald and
Yep,
the
the greens.
Yeah. Well, I could use Dark Sea Ben as the base to replace Dark Jade, and then use Dark Emerald and
green oxide.
Green Oxide, and I could use a little bit of the warm white with the Green Oxide or the heavy white to get the brighter almost turquoise, and then you get the dark bronze. It wouldn't be super highlighted, but it would be more dull. So I could do all of that with this. It'd be very cool.
Opprobriums wants to know if it costs more to ship the heavy white.
Yes.
It is heavier, so probably.
That's funny.
Don't ever apologize for a joke like that. We love that.
Are you kidding me? We say some sillier, stupider jokes than that all the time. Like all the time.
You'll fit in good here.
Yeah, you
We like
will
the
fit
bad
in
jokes
good
around
here. We say silly things. I say silly things a lot.
By the way, Gabe and new guy Phil are in Albuquerque already,
That's stupid.
and they're continuing.
Oh, they're just gonna come home?
I think so. I just looked at the map, and it says it's like 6.5 hours or something. So
Yeah. They said they might, or when we were talking to them at the show, they said they might stop somewhere like just 3 hours outside of town. I forget what the little town was called.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember.
Here
what
in
it's called.
Arizona.
Yeah. To be fair, if I were them, I probably would do the same thing.
sometimes you just want to get home.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a new commercial coming soon.
Oh.
I shoot it on Friday.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Keep your eyes peeled. You might start seeing a new Monument Hobbies ad next week.
Yeah, Chris was saying he could get it edited over the weekend, so
Potentially next week.
potentially next week.
Man, Chris is going to be here a lot this week.
Yeah, he's shooting the commercial on Friday.
Yeah. He'll be here on Thursday. He's going to leave, and he's going to come back on Friday to record some more.
I gotta get my one take acting chops on for Friday.
I'm not in this one.
Just me.
Just Jason.
I'm flying solo in this one. Nobody else.
Flying solo.
Nobody else in this one. Part of our PSA series.
Oh my gosh. Oh, is this
I'm
the
having
one
to
that we
do-
talked about?
I'm having to do public service announcements for a crime I committed, I guess. Isn't that what they make you do sometimes? You do community service in the form of PSAs?
Mo wants to know if it's the Flashdance one.
I wish.
I mean,
It could be.
it kinda. There's a little bit of.
Jason's going to be dancing?
No, it's not. There's no dancing.
There's a little,
No singing, no
little
dancing?
element of this one that is also a little bit Flashdance like. I'll tell you later.
It's going to be funny. Now that I remember
No
what you're
unicorn
doing.
suit? I don't know. Are you gonna wear a unicorn suit?
No.
That's
I need to
for
put
you,
the
Jen.
unicorn suit on and just walk around the office in it.
You're
Just
going to
check
do
up
that?
on everyone. I should. I need to.
She loves that suit.
Just work.
It was hard to
Come
get her
to work
out of
for a
the
week.
unicorn
I
suit.
didn't want to take that thing off that day.
It was very difficult to get her out of the unicorn
That's
suit.
so funny.
It has like built-in air fans.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
oh,
that's how it inflates. So it
Oh my
has little
gosh.
fans in it to make it puff up.
Oh.
It's like one of those
okay.
sumo
Yeah,
wrestling-
yeah. I understand now.
Jason in a leotard getting a bucket of mahogany poured on him.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
I'm not.
it's
Nope.
not that.
It's not that.
Wait a minute. What do I not know here? I feel like maybe I don't know something I'm supposed to know.
Don't worry about it, Jason. We'll
A
talk
little
on
bit of
Friday.
flashing. but
Somebody snuck in a
tasteful
script on
flashing.
me.
Tasteful flashing.
Somebody snuck in a script that I don't know about.
Wasn't me, it was Jen. I promise I didn't do anything. It's all Jen. I take no responsibility for this whatsoever.
T. Schmidt said, speaking of mahogany, I think we need travel mugs with Pro Acryl labels for the art.
Travel mugs.
Like just the circle, the color circle?
That would be pretty funny if we just have a mug
A mug.
with the circle for mahogany
Yeah.
on it.
Collect your favorite colors.
Yeah. Oh, I need to get me a wizard's butt one.
Yeah, for those of you that placed orders recently, have we gotten anybody in chat that's had a wizard's
Yeah,
butt
who's
sticker
gotten a
yet?
wizard's butt sticker? Or a Don't Eat the Paint sticker. Those are the two new ones.
Yeah, that we couldn't give away at Gen Con. Silly rules.
Oh, they don't let you do stickers?
Mm.
I feel like I remember that from last year.
Yeah, they fine you
Yeah.
if
Because
you
they're worried that people are going to stick them on
vandalize. The convention center has a rule for the people that
That's
rent
why
it
we
out.
can't have nice things.
Yep, exactly.
People are terrible.
Obscure, you got one. Mo, you got one.
Hey. Oh yeah, Mo, did you get your model back yet? Has it arrived? Would have to have been. Been a while.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We made it happen, Jason. We
That
made
is
it
correct.
happen.
Mo finally has.
You dropped
His
it off
model.
with me, and you're like, make this happen.
It'll never happen if it's relying on me. That's what I knew. I knew this was true.
Hands it off to me. He's like, says exactly that, and says, go deal with this.
So,
So it got out.
you are the hero we need.
I'm liking
Have I
how
already
this
done this? I feel like I've already done
red
this.
is coming along.
And just because, thank you as well, Jen. John says, it might have gotten
What did I
said...
do?
I might have gotten said sticker, but your eyes won't focus to confirm after eating so much cadmium yellow.
Oh, John. No.
So what we don't need is people like you in the community leading the minions astray, John. Need you to take one for the
We
team
don't
and pretend like
want-
you don't eat the paint.
We don't want anybody having cadmium poisoning.
Bastard. It was funny because so many
Not
people
good.
immediately were like, John and Miniac aren't going to like this.
we just make them have chicken strips instead of paint.
In a world with chicken strips, chicken fingers,
Yeah.
chicken tenders, John, why would you ever need to eat the paint? And don't tell me you put it on said chicken.
Oh,
I know
gosh,
where you
no.
live.
Yeah, I know where you live. You will not survive the night. Did I have the thing over here? Don't have it. Well, that's disappointing. I had the thing, and then I didn't have the thing. I'm trying to figure out if I should do these weapons in not bronze. But I feel like they should be bronze.
Is it the Bronze Age?
I mean, they're like undead Romans. So yeah, probably. Probably, maybe.
Probably, maybe.
I mean, it's not
You
probably.
sound like
Definitely.
me trying to figure out what's for dinner.
I mean, that's also me trying to figure out what's for dinner. You've known me for a while now. You know I am like the most indecisive person on the planet. With some small
I
exceptions.
live with Jen.
What?
See?
Don't worry about it, Jen.
Indecisive?
Yeah.
She just admitted. She goes, you know me. Today when we were trying to figure out lunch. You know I can't make this mind up.
There are some times when my brain just is not capable of making that decision. It just won't work.
This is what we got to work with, Mo. No eagle. They're technically not Romans, but they very much have that aesthetic. Like, very much. Oh, huh. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely... They're not copying it, but they're copying it. You know what I mean? They do. They also have... there's, like, cool rectangle shields that you can get for, like, playing in some events or something that are, like, look exactly like the old Roman, like, tower shields.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they look so cool. I have like 1 or 2 sets of them, which is not enough for my whole army, which makes me very sad. Because I prefer them very much to the kind of weird shaped shields. These are cool, but I like me some weird...
Paint Liquor says, I need mint-flavored paint so you can brush your teeth with it. No, you don't.
No, you do not. That's not a thing you need. I know you think you need it, but you don't.
John's like, oh, damn, you know where I live? Foiled again. Spat says, Miniacs Custom Series would have a cane sauce colored paint. All of the paints are just based off of condiment colors.
Oh, my gosh.
McDonald's honey mustard.
Somebody was talking to me, or I was talking to somebody in the Facebook or something about that today. They were like, how about we just do like a line of paints for like food? And I was just like, no, that's the opposite of what we want. That incentivizes it.
I don't feel like you people understand what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, we're trying to tell you to not eat the paint. Us making a line of paints that is food related is not conducive to making that happen. You guys need to remember.
You know, I was thinking about it at the show, though.
I
was thinking about it at Gen Con, though. You realize at Gen Con, all of our stuff is presented on a menu.
Yeah, there is that.
I feel like we might be the king of mixed messages.
Yes. Look.
Our whole, if you haven't been to a convention, our whole convention booth is a bar. So it's a stand-up bar, and we're all bartenders, and we're serving you, and all of our products are on menus that you look at as the menu with the pricing and all that, and then we tell you don't eat the paint. Feels like we might be...
We even sell the brush scoop.
That makes it more fun, I think.
We sell the brush scoop out of the baskets. Like,
yeah.
We literally sell our
and
brush
one of the things that comes in the snack basket is soap.
Yeah.
Don't eat the soap. No.
Don't eat the soap.
Don't eat the soap.
Don't eat the soap. But here, pick it out of this delicious snack basket.
Oh my gosh.
Don't eat the paint.
Don't eat the paint. Wink, wink.
The funny thing
Limburger
too,
cheese paint. Whoa, Limburger. That's the one I never can remember the name of. That's so disgusting.
I have such great ideas for the booth too, and it would just make it more and more and more confusing for people. Like, how cool would it be for us to have the keg levers that had labels for our paint colors on it?
That's on the menu.
Yeah. It would be
The
so
tap heads
cool.
are on the menu. With like bold pyro red. Titanium white.
You know, it would actually be even cooler. I mean, this is totally unrealistic, but it would be so cool if we could literally bottle the paints with them.
Yeah.
Like, literally just, like, pour it out into a bottle for somebody and cap it.
Just like instant
Yeah.
fill, like custom fills for everybody right away.
That would be so funny. It's totally not practical.
No, I feel like that would really kind of hold up the line.
Oh, it would be, yeah, it would be totally not practical at all. But it would be super funny.
It would be very funny.
I think it would be great to have it be like the Froyo place so people can serve themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we just oh no, that's an idea for later. I'm gonna save that one for a conversation in a meeting later. That's a good one.
I'm mixing in some of the new bone with our light
Well,
umber
huzzah,
here to
huzzah.
get kind of a
Just throw back my legs.
dirty strap.
Where is the bone? There's the bone. I have some of the bone. Because I also need to use the bone. Although I don't think this has been opened yet.
Thank you for that sub. Who dat?
Who dat? DD Builds.
What?
Hey.
For 30 months.
I was gonna say, Dee been around a good long while.
That is a good long while.
He started streaming again. I dropped in on his stream the other day. Dee is a local who doesn't come by because he doesn't love us.
Oh, wow. Calling him out like that?
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
He used to come by and hang out with us.
Yo! I don't hold it against you, DD.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, maybe I do. He knows me too well.
Yeah, he does.
He
You should
knows
hear him
me
in
too well.
meetings.
I should hear him in meetings.
Like, the heck with that Dee guy. Acting like he loves us.
I would never.
A lot of talk, that guy.
I would
Windbag.
Windbag. I would never, except for maybe that once. It was that once.
So I have to tell you something really quick.
Uh-oh.
We just got an email to support
Uh-huh.
from a guy who works at Amazon
Uh-huh.
saying they got some of our stuff.
They got what?
A box of our cups.
Well, great.
So he just happens to work there and like found it, I think.
We would like to have him bring it here. Or tell us where we can meet him in an alley. UPS chat. I want to let you know. I want to let you know the pain of trying to do business in today's world where customer service is as lazy as it's ever been. UPS delivered 8 of 9 packages to us here at the factory as intended. And we asked where the 9th package is, package 9 of 9, which if you know anything about shipping, when you present a batch of labels from UPS, they're all the same and they all reference package 1. Package 1 has all the data tracking on it, and all the rest of them are just X of X, right? And they have the address on it and everything, but when you scan it or whatever, if it's 9 of 9, it relays back. There's no way the address can be wrong. They all have the same info. But we were told when 9 of 9 couldn't show up that it had an address problem and it was redirected. Okay, fine. That's happened before. Label's been destroyed, whatever. Where does it normally get redirected to, babe?
Huh?
UPS, right?
Right.
It would go to a UPS pickup spot.
think.
Right,
Yes.
where we would have to go provide information showing that it was us and yada, yada, yada. But where did UPS deliver our package that they couldn't, for some reason, read the address? Amazon.
He said that it has no shipping label or product label, and it was delivered to somewhere that's not even close to here.
What
He
the
put
heck?
The address of where it was delivered, and it's not. Like,
What?
none of the same numbers as our address.
What?
Nothing.
Wait, what?
Well, at least we'll get it back, it
Yeah.
sounds. Thankfully, someone's paying attention.
Yeah, this person at Amazon just goes, why is this here?
I think that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I have this thing, it's sitting here, and it most certainly does not belong here.
Now I'm just going to use pure bone.
Enjoying this dark burgundy. All
It's
this
such a good color.
nasty rotted flesh on these guys. Such a great color for it.
Like, why UPS would you deliver something to somebody like Amazon? Like, who authorized that?
And this is UPS, not USPS?
No, it's UPS.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. UPS crazy people.
Well, huzzah, huzzah.
Huzzah,
I'll just
huzzah.
throw back my legs and pollute my britches with
Narkill
delight.
with the sub, 15 months. Hello.
Nar, thank you so much.
Welcome back.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for hanging out. You're awesome. Paint liquor with the pure bone made of murder victim bone pigment.
Yes. Wait, what?
Wait, what? Why are you talking about that?
The
Not
correct
supposed to talk
answer
about
is
that.
no comment.
We are not ready for our Dateline episode yet, so
The correct answer is don't say anything. Cascaboom, I've been fighting for a year with UPS to leave packages at my door without me being there since I sleep during the day. And now every time I order GW stuff, I end up having to drive to get your stuff. That sucks. That's super inconvenient.
okay, bone is my new favorite.
Oh.
And then when I paint the next color, it'll be my new favorite. You guys can see, right? Let's zoom in. Bone is a satin color, but I want you to look, right, that it's not giving us anything that you would expect untoward versus a matte paint. I'm not mixing it with anything. It just gives a little bit of shine. So as I'm using it as my highlight, it just adds a little bit of depth to the model. But it's been mixed with ultra matte paint in the form of the light umber, and now just the bone by itself. So don't be afraid of the satin colors. They work fantastic. Right alongside our normal matte.
Jade Cerebra had a wonderful time chatting with the team at Gen Con. Thank you for all the airbrush and shading advice. You are most welcome. Thank you for stopping by and chatting with us. It is always wonderful to have those conversations in person. It's like my favorite part of those shows.
Oh yeah,
It's hanging out with people and talking about cool stuff and painting,
by far.
answering questions that people have been confused about.
At
Getting
Gen Con,
to
it was
see the
just
light
nice
bulb
watching
turn on.
people's eyes light up because so
Yeah.
many people are experiencing miniatures for the first time
Yep.
because they're board game people, but now the board games have got miniatures in them, and
Yeah.
it's just really cool.
That was definitely one of the unexpected things for me is how many new people who had never painted miniatures before were stopping by the booth and saying, "Hey, how do I get started with this?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
have some fun."
Exactly. We had that guy that showed up a couple times, bought a bunch of paint because he was a He-Man fan. I wish that the lumberjack Tim
Tim.
was here right now because Tim's a big He-Man fan and he's been painting the He-Man board game.
That's true.
This guy found the He-Man board game at Gen Con and was stoked and didn't know anything about miniature painting. Came by and picked all of his colors based on Googling all the He-Man characters.
That's so funny.
They sat there by the paint booth, he and this other guy, and they were
amazing.
Googling the He-Man characters
gosh.
and just picking colors based on the outfits from the cartoon. And he just came up with this huge, bright, vibrant color palette going on. Bought all the paints. Winning.
Jade, we talked about how to tackle the Morgan 110 millimeter. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to paint one of those soon. I don't know if you were here for the beginning where we were talking about my grandma being like, "Hey, I want you to paint one of these for me." So I'm gonna paint one.
Yep, he's going to be painting one here.
I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, I did actually mention. I said we've got a guy in our Discord who would be more than happy to show off all of his He-Man stuff he's been painting.
Yeah.
He's been really killing it.
It's true. Tim's been going ham on that project.
He really has been loving it.
Yeah.
I wish he was here to talk about it. Sounded like he was having kind of a bummed out day. Sounded like
Yeah.
all of his deliveries today were a bastard, so.
Oh, I remember you. Yes.
Yeah, Jade, you came by and bought the smaller one and then
remember.
upgraded to the Morgan statue.
I remember
Fantastic.
this. Welcome.
I'm painting a rhino.
I'm painting things that you've seen. I had these on display at Gen Con, and I didn't really get a chance to paint them very much. I painted the cloak. That's about all I got done. Spent too much time. Well, not too much time. I spent the right amount of time talking to other people about cool paints. Although, people did seem to be very excited about this recipe that we got worked up for these guys.
Yeah, the overpainting metallics for the bronze works really well.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one.
Just so easy to replicate. The work begins this Saturday. Nice. Doing another painting party with your game group. That is awesome. Post up some pictures in the Discord when you get started on it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to follow along as you get working on it. Should I place an online order and pick it up tomorrow, or just go grab the stuff from the office?
Yes.
So if
Yes.
well, no, I'm gonna answer that like with a real answer. If you place an order online now, it's probably not going to be ready by tomorrow.
Oh, right.
Now, that doesn't mean that you couldn't still come in and we could dig it out and, but we've got the sets ready, so it probably is easier for you to just come in and get them. Now, unless you want a whole bunch of other stuff, because then it gets a little more difficult. So if it's more than just the 2 new sets and the varnish, maybe put an order in and then plan on picking it up on...
Wait for your notification.
Yeah. But it would probably be ready by Thursday.
Yeah, it's always a little tricky as we do new product launches we do all the orders in order of receipt. And right now, you would be pretty far back.
Yeah.
Given the way the day has started. But yeah, if you're just looking to pick up the new colors and varnish, just walking in works.
Let's see here. Maverick Minis, are you guys going to do anything for this month's challenge?
It's
yeah.
up.
No, I think they're asking if we are going to paint anything.
It's the freehand one, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Trying to think of what I got that I can paint. I could probably come up with a banner paint.
I was thinking of doing some... Oh, you could do the banner, the big banner for the guy.
Oh, that's right. The big purple Space Marine guy.
Yeah.
I have a huge banner.
You have a gigantic banner.
That one's really tough for freehand because
That's
it's
true.
all folded over itself. I mean, it's a good lesson. It's just not very... At the end, you don't really get a good vision of what was on the banner.
You've probably got a bunch of other stuff around here that you could do too, if you wanted to. I was thinking about doing like a Sons of Horus tank or something like that, because I have a bunch of those and I need to build and prep a tank this month anyways, so...
Hey, are you expecting
Might as
Phil
well.
and Gabe to come in tomorrow?
Somebody needs to bring that van here.
Okay, well, but I mean...
They aren't supposed to be into work until Thursday. And then they taken Friday off.
Okay.
Was my understanding.
So they're bringing the van back tomorrow, but off the rest of the day, work Thursday, off Friday.
You got it. We've got a, on this hosing coming out of the backpack here, I have a lot of color on it from like spraying the dark flesh and all of the, I guess I didn't really airbrush it. Oh, I did airbrush it a little bit, I think. So I'm just taking the black really thin over the top and letting some of those colors show through because we have this mixed palette on these hoses that's just kind of accidental, errant brush strokes from the leather color, the skin colors, dry brush, overwash, all that kind of stuff. And just let the black kind of thinly go over and inherit some of that coloring. Gives it kind of a really dirty, mixed palette look. It can be kind of neat sometimes. You don't always have to hide all your loose brush marks. See, I've got the leather brown from here. I put it on here. And just kind of hit it and let it barely show through the thin black.
Paint Liquor, I'm waiting for a bus to show up for freehand. Hopefully it arrives this month. I was going to try to order it from you guys since it's from Mindworks, but I didn't see you guys have it in their... You didn't see you guys have their restaurant busts yet?
We have, yeah, all we have is the Pizza Boy right now. And I don't think he's on the site yet. So we need to get him up on the site. The Chef and all of those are still in transit. Well, they're not in transit. They haven't shipped them yet, but they're coming. Mateo will actually be, Mateo, who is Mindworks, basically, will actually be in the States this month. He is doing painting classes. He's doing one at War Room Games in Vegas.
Oh, cool.
And
those guys.
another one in Southern California, and then another one in Denver, Colorado. So
it's cool that he's hitting the West Coast, because a lot of the time when a lot of the European painters come over to the States, they don't really make it out to the West Coast,
right,
because it's so much easier to just stay on the east side. They don't have to go across the country. So it's cool that he's actually making time to go out to the West Coast.
He's actually not doing any East Coast dates.
I know that. I saw that on there. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Isn't he? It's like over 3 weekends or something.
Yeah, it's 3 consecutive weekends, starting I think next weekend,
hanging out.
the 12th or something like that.
The 12th is this weekend.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's starting this weekend, I think.
Is he stopping through at all?
He's be in Vegas. No, he's not coming through.
Okay.
Doesn't have any time, he said.
Yeah.
So he'll be in Vegas and then Denver, or I think Vegas, then California, then Denver. It's odd the way his
I feel like I've seen the posts and
his route
that
is
make
going.
Sense that a roundabout way go to those 3 places.
Needs a better tour manager. Mateo, the guy who owns and runs Mindwork Games, tremendous artist, great painter. An all-around general great guy.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed getting a chance to meet him at Adepticon. I'm building up this kind of weird dead flesh with dark burgundy and a little bit of yellow ochre mixed in with the regular burgundy, which gives us really nice kind of pale yet still have nice saturation kind of highlight color. that just adds just a little bit of a pop, like on that leg here. Looks kind of nice. Doesn't need to be super complicated. This is only going to be tabletop stuff, so I don't want to go super crazy on it. But
yeah, they did the 6 new release. They released another version of the Puppeteer that's different from the original one.
Oh, did they? Didn't see that.
Brendan Isaiah Bingson says, "My God, you absolutely nailed your blackwash properties. It is by far your favorite wash. Bravo. Why, thank you."
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
The
Sorry, I missed that comment.
I am not a huge wash painter and haven't been for years. And so when we decided we wanted to make washes, like everything, and it sounds funny to say it this way, but we said it on stream, is they have to be washes I would use that would make me want to use washes again. And we nailed it. And the glaze wash medium is literally one of my favorite things on the planet.
You use so much.
I use a ton of it.
I don't know if you answered this question already from Star Laser. That is the dark crimson darker than burnt red.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. The dark crimson is darker than burnt red. Most definitely. It give you an idea. I'll show you here. I have new paints, so I have to open them all. If you've never used our paints, they come sealed for your protection.
Nice. Premium quality joke.
Lady Acetose wants to know if it's more red.
Burnt red has a brown feel? Well, yeah, burnt red is actually very red. It does obviously have a brown feel, hence the burnt nature of it. This is probably going to feel more brown to you if you think that the burnt red is more brown. I'm going to put some out on my palette and I'll show you. Because burnt red is definitely more red. Right. I take and crimson. Burnt red.
Oh wow. It makes that burnt red look really bright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much darker, right? They are great together. They do some amazing blends. I would use the burnt red to make the crimson more red. And you can see the glossiness of the crimson versus the matte of the burnt red there on my hand. Crimson is intended to be like a... I'm not going to be able to do it like that, am I? Good blood splatter.
Cat said, "Welcome back from Gen Con. We got to see you Saturday and picked up the Shinobi bus. Hope your travel back home wasn't too strenuous."
Really good blood splatter effect.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Lady Aceto's burnt red looks much brighter than yours. Are you sure you're not talking about mahogany? Mahogany's very brown.
Mahogany is, yep.
Burnt red versus bold pyro red. Obviously darker,
Mm-hmm.
but still very red. My traditional red workup includes both of those, and either starting with mahogany, which is much more brown, or a dark purple, or what I've done recently, which is the dark burgundy, which is tremendous, dark plum. We have a ton of those reds that either trend into the, adding blue for purplish tones, or browns that work great for building and layering up all of your reds.
Maverick Minis said if you used Jasona's Magic Mix. How does it compare to your medium? Does it offer thinning and matteness predominantly?
So our glaze wash medium is a compilation of things. As a medium for adding in to just your normal paint, it's going to thin opacity without losing viscosity. So your paint will still feel the same in its weight, I would say, as you lower for glazing. That's the whole purpose of it, so that it doesn't feel like water. Because if you thin with water, your paint becomes lower in viscosity. It starts to flow differently, and it goes all over the model. So until you get to a point where you're very confident in your glazing capabilities, it's better to start with thinning your paint in a way that keeps it at paint thickness. So that's the first level of how the glaze wash medium works. It is highly matte, so it will act as a matting agent for more satin paints, but it also holds your paint on its matte finish, whereas adding water to a matte paint to thin it out for glazing can turn it satin, because you will break the matting agent out of the paint. So it keeps the paint matte, keeps it viscous so that it feels like paint, right? It also has a longer open time to it, so it's going to let your paint be wet longer, so you can wet blend with it easier. It's not a true drying retarder in the pure sense of the word. That's not its primary focus, but it does have a drying retarder component to it. And then it also has a flow component, a flow ease component to it for turning it into a wash. So if you mix it with paint and then add a little bit of water to lower the viscosity, now all of a sudden you have a paint that acts like a wash. It holds the pigment together in a way that just thinning with water does not. When you thin with water, all of your pigment becomes chaotic. It just kind of floats in the suspension however it wants to. Your brush being the defining factor in that, pushing pigment wherever the brush stops. Whereas adding in the matte medium or the glaze medium will keep the pigment coherent better, even when you add water to thin its consistency. So. But it literally is, like Mo is saying, it's like a multi-tool. It will do just about anything you need it to do. You can add it into your paint as a flow improver. T-Cat!
Well, congratulations. Very cool. T-Cat said I used your paints for the mini painting competition as well and came home with 2 bronzes.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Love the quality.
Absolutely awesome.
Nope.
No.
No,
Paint liquor,
no.
not true. Does not taste delish.
We've
Quit it.
talked about this paint liquor.
Quit it. I need you to quit it. Matter of fact, let's mix some up right now. Let's make a wash. Why not? Cup.
Gonna show your ingredients?
Yep.
Okay.
Cup. Burnt sienna. I want rust. And I love burnt sienna. Paint Liquor says I elect to ignore. That's not how this works. We're watching you. I'll put in about 3 drops of paint. I don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to add some rust to some of the metallic features on the bracelets and such. Glaze wash. I'm damn near empty again. That can't be true, can it? Oh yeah, here's another one that's...
You use so much of that stuff, it's crazy.
Oops.
Good stuff.
Oops.
It's great. I use it almost all the time. And I have like half a bottle left.
So if that's 3 drops of paint, this is how much I put in there. About like that. Probably about 5 times as much is what I tell people, about 5 to 1. Since I'm going to be making a wash, then I look at how much material I have in the cup, and I probably want to add, about 50% more in water to get me started. Grab a gnarly brush for mixing and use the butt end of it because I'm using my adult brain cells today.
We don't waste any paint with our caps. Because when we close them, we use the paint that comes out the top.
Yeah. Once you learn how to use the caps, you'll love them. You squeeze out a small drop close the cap, a little bit of paint comes out the end, and you put that on your palette. By putting that on the palette, you clean the tip of the bottle, and you don't waste any paint.
You got a sub from Telemachus.
Telemachus.
73 months.
And
King of the dad
best
jokes.
part,
Did he have a dad joke in there?
of course.
Oh.
Why is umber the most difficult color to work with? Every umber I see is either raw or burnt.
Oh, look at that.
He ignored you, Tell.
Look at
I
that.
didn't get it.
I don't pay attention to that guy.
don't.
What's going on, Tell?
I don't get it.
Neither did anybody else.
You can't get it right. It's
It's
either
fine.
raw or it's burnt. You can't get it just right.
I mean, okay.
Whatever.
Sure. I mean, is this surprising to anybody?
What?
That this went right over my head? No, I don't think so.
Maybe a little.
A little?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, think of it in terms of like steak. If you had a steak and all you could do was get it to be raw or burnt,
I would eat it raw.
but you might not be as happy.
I'm
As
pretty
if it
sure
were
I'd be
just right.
less happy with the burnt one, for sure.
I'm done, Tell. Done.
We back to food, Avian. All streams return to food. I mean, if you really want to. Man, do I have a story about a Sunday dinner.
Yeah, I didn't hear a whole lot about the meals.
Just
I got
know.
a text from Jason on probably Wednesday that just said we're having fried chicken,
That was
and that's
Wednesday.
the only thing I got, other than I had dinner with Aaron and Liz. That's it.
that one I wasn't there for.
Honestly, I got very few details about the entire trip.
Here we go.
Well,
Said, here we go.
in the future, Jen, what more details would you like? I'm happy
I
to
need
provide them.
know who you talked to. I need to know, like what exciting and interesting.
Who you
things
been
saw.
with? Who you know?
I need to know about all the food.
She is very
Okay.
excited about the food that we
I
have.
like to live vicariously because I was just
So-
at home being
So we
bored.
went to a place. Is it okay for me to talk about food?
You have to deal with her being mad about it. Sure.
I mean, did you? Go
Well,
to Chino
technically,
Bandito?
you have to deal with her being mad about it more than I do.
Did you go to Chino Bandito?
No.
No.
Okay, well, I can't go to any of the places that you went in Indiana, so you can tell me all about them, and I promise I won't get mad.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's this place. It's called.
Unless, wait, do
Okay.
any of these places exist in Arizona?
I don't think so.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Tell me all about it.
All right. There's a place called the Eagle.
Okay.
It's a chicken place.
Fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Okay.
Fried chicken.
1 tomato. Baby J is happy to snitch. He's looking to add to his extensive snitches collection.
Stitches collection.
The bus is getting full. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fried chicken place called the Eagle.
Fried eagle.
No.
That's probably illegal.
And I would
Eagle, fried
say,
eagle.
ironically, the highlights of that meal were not the chicken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what else did they have?
They had an absolutely incredible blackberry lemonade.
Okay.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Okay.
See?
Not a huge lemonade fan.
It was so good.
Okay.
Like, it was so good. I tried to do 2 glasses of it. The second glass was really hard to get down though, because it was really
You had to
tart.
cut it with water. It was pretty
Tart.
Very tart.
well. It was tart, but it was also very sweet.
Oh, yeah.
And I tend
That's
to
why I don't like
prefer.
lemonade.
Oh,
Well, I mean, you can water it down. Something.
I had to like drink out a quarter of it, pour water in
Yeah.
it, drink some more, pour more water in it. By
Yeah.
the end of it, I had probably cut it 50-50.
Yeah. But it was absolutely incredible. And then the mac and cheese was very good. I thought the mac and cheese was the highlight of the meal. Yeah. Granted, I was not a huge fan of my sandwich.
Oh.
I think you guys probably had a better experience with your what, quarter chicken or half chicken or whatever
I
you guys
had
had.
I had a quarter dark meat chicken. Yeah,
And then Gabe had the drumsticks,
yeah. Gabe had drumsticks.
and Phil had the same thing you did.
Quarter chicken. Yeah,
Yeah.
dark meat. I think.
So that was good. That place was good.
Gabe was like, I asked him, I was like, how many drumsticks do you get with a drumstick platter? They're at 5. I was like, nope, that's too much.
Okay, now T-Cat's talking about a Monte Cristo. I would definitely be down with that. Those are kind of hard to find, but I'm not jealous. Okay, what else?
So day 2 on Thursday, we went to this ancient little family-owned Italian restaurant.
Oh, that's right.
See,
Okay.
he's getting excited about it. It was very good. It had all of the things that you wanted to have. They had like, one of our appetizers was like fried mozzarella.
It had no carbonara, but that was the only thing I had to complain.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had like fried mozzarella. It was literally just like a slice of mozzarella, battered and fried.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Little plank.
We had calamari, which was also delicious. I had the clam with like white sauce sort of thing. That was really good.
Yeah, cute little necks.
Yeah. I got to have my olive oil and balsamic vinegar with my bread, which was awesome. And there was an assortment of other dishes to be had. It was good.
Tiramisu, cheesecake.
I did have tiramisu.
Uh-huh.
This man had the cheesecake. And if I recall, you very much enjoyed your cheesecake.
I didn't have the cheesecake.
What did you have?
I had the limoncello,
Oh, that's right.
and it was the most refreshing thing of the day. It was so good.
Like a sorbet, or was it?
No, it was
It was
like
a cake.
cake.
Oh, cake. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
good.
And then
It was very good.
I had the tiramisu, which was great. Phil had tiramisu, and Gabe had something else. I don't remember what he had.
Wolf Lord, we're doing the dinner recap right now. For
Yeah,
Gen Con because I was not there, so
Yeah.
I'm hearing about all the delicious food.
And the crazy thing is, every meal that we had just like built on one another. It was just like good meal, better meal, better meal, better meal, better
Yeah.
meal. I don't know how Saturday was because I wasn't there.
Saturday, Baby J was with his family celebrating birthdays.
Yes.
We
had
went out. We
a
went out
cheeseburger.
with Liz and Aaron from
cheeseburger.
Miniature Monthly, along with Matt DiPietro, and so we had a great time talking. It was a fantastic just hangout night, getting to catch up with old friends. And we went to the District Tap, which is just kind of a general American food bar food kind of place, but it was all spectacular. Everybody had great stuff. I don't even know that I remember what I had. The appetizers were tremendous. We had this queso and it was like queso blanco and pretzel and beer cheese, but that was done really, really good. And then I don't remember what everybody got, but it was good. It was a louder, less quaint kind of thing because it was really close to the convention since we had so many people. We just stayed close by and walked.
Yeah.
So it was loud because there was an absolute crap ton of people there.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
The our Friday dinner was really good though.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what the name. It was like Saint something.
St. Elmo's Steakhouse?
No,
Oh.
not that one. This
No,
one
Saint
was
Joseph,
Saint
Saint
Joseph's
Joseph's Brewery.
St. Elmo's of the movie? St. Elmo's Fire?
So we went to Saint Joseph's Brewery, and it was a converted cathedral that they turned into like a brewery.
It's a microbrewery.
Like the Taco Guild?
Yeah, it's like Taco Guild.
Kind of, except it like big,
Bigger.
like big vaulted ceilings that go like 100 feet up in the air.
Wow.
Like it was very pretty. And we had some great food there. We had a very similar appetizer flight. We had poutine, buffalo chicken poutine,
Buffalo chicken poutine.
which was
See, that
awesome.
you lost me at buffalo chicken.
It was really good, babe.
It surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. And then we had like a beer cheese pretzel dip, which was also delightful. He had a freaking massive thing of fish and chips.
Holy cow! I got the fish and chips, and it
Holy
was
cow.
like, can you bring the whole
All the
fish?
fish and
It was a
chips.
steak.
It was like
it was
this
not.
big.
It was not strips. It was the steak
Like-
of cod.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
geez.
It was like 1.5 inches thick,
Yeah.
and it was a square as big as like most plates.
Yeah, it
I
was
couldn't
wild.
eat half of it.
That sounds gross.
So he had that. I had Gabe and I both had the lamb feta burger,
Oh yeah, it was lamb and feta cheese.
which was great. I forget what Phil had. What did Phil have? Oh, he had the what's it called?
The strawberry shake and the fillet of fish.
God no.
In a blender.
Ugh. No, he had the meatloaf.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. He did. He had mom's meatloaf.
Yeah, which he really enjoyed. He said it was very good.
Very
I
good.
like a
So that was that. Oh, and then we ordered dessert, and the desserts that we got were
Oh my
freaking
God.
gigantic. Oh my god!
Silly.
we all got our own individual dessert, and we took one look, and we were just like, we're gonna die here. I mean, like I ordered a bread pudding, and it came on a plate like this big, and it was literally almost the size of the plate.
That's a
And
lot
it
of
was
bread.
dense. It had a bunch of ice cream on it. I was just like, there's no way I'm eating this all.
Did it have raisins?
No.
Oh, that's good. I don't like raisins.
I tend to prefer my bread pudding a little bit more, a lot less dense.
Yeah.
I prefer it to be almost like an actual pudding. So that was great. But the best meal of the weekend, and honestly probably one of the best meals, if not the best meal of my life.
Wow.
Everybody
Yeah.
said this was one of the best meals of their
Okay,
life.
all right. Tell me then.
I gotta
Spit it
preface
out.
this whole thing. We gotta
He's
go
like,
into
"Spit
it
it out."
slowly.
Okay, just tell me about the food.
So it was like
hang on, stop.
Sorry.
All right,
Wanna
so
know
this
what
is
I'm eating today?
this is
Ritz crackers.
this is how taking the glaze and wash medium and mixing it with one of our paints 5-to-1, and then doubling that up with water so you get a nice flowing wash, and then just kind of stippling it into the cracks, and look what you get. You get a nice rusty overlay on top of that non-metallic steel that I've done. Works perfect every time. Now all I have to do is go back and redo a little bit of the highlights because I've dulled down some of the highlights, but we get a nice rusty chain. Super simple. The glaze wash medium is called Miracle Medium for a reason. It's just too easy. Works too well.
Get some.
Well, Floor's like, you're making me hungry, but it's 11:40 p.m.
We'll just wait until you hear about the last dinner.
Really quick, Mulder and Willow TV said I made a lemon sorbet cocktail for a competition and came in third out of 1,000 people.
Ooh,
I'm down.
That must
That
be
sounds
a
awesome.
Congratulations.
Can I have some of
Cocktail
that?
sounds very refreshing.
Willow TV says also, do you ever use pigment powders? No. You love using black pigment powder mixed with black paint. It gives very matte finish. Doesn't reflect much light if you want that effect. Our paints come that way, so we don't have to use it in normal painting. I will use like chalk pastels for weathering effects from time to time. But I don't use dry pigment very often. There's nothing I can't do with wet paint that dry pigment really does. It's that dry pigment will do some weathering effects quicker. But our paint is ultra matte, so you won't have to worry about adding the pigment into it, especially on things like the black. You can see like the black toenails on this guy, how matte finish all the black is. The stuff we just painted on the back there with the hoses. So you don't have to really add much to it. All the shine you're seeing on this guy is coming from my painting with highlights. Okay,
All right.
All right.
So Sunday night-
Sunday dinner.
Sunday night we
you
went
wanna
to
do
a
this one?
place called The Livery.
Yeah.
And it was a place that I had chosen for us on Friday night, but we couldn't. They said pretty much you'd never get a seat, right? Because they had a bunch of big parties booked. And so we waited till Sunday when everybody was gone, shows closed.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier. It was the furthest restaurant away. It was closer to like St. Joseph's, the cathedral thing that we had gone to. We went there. It was South American food. Right, so not Mexican food, but just kind of a Central South American cuisine. Lots of stuff on the menu, but the big thing that got my eyes when I was looking at the menu briefly online was the empanadas. They had an whole empanada menu with like 6 different meat choices or internal choices for the empanada. And I was like, done. They had a guacamole appetizer. I was like, if nothing else, we're just going to go gorge ourselves on empanadas. So we went there. Very nice place. Got seated pretty quick. Sat down. Ordered 4 margaritas for the crew. Right? We all had a margarita. And then I just said, okay, we're going to do an empanada flight. I was calling the shots. So we got some guacamole and some Brazilian cheese bread. Right?
Oh, that stuff is so good.
Yeah, so we got the Brazilian cheese bread that had the cheese sauce on top of the real heavy bread, and got that. And then we did empanada flight. And the empanadas you could order in groups of 4, and so we got 4 of all 6. So we got 24 empanadas, all 6 flavors, 4 of each, because there's 4 of us. And we went around and we just said, okay, we're starting with corn. And so we all picked up a corn empanada and ate it, and we ran around the table talking about, I mean, we didn't really talk a lot because we bit into it, and all of us just had these.
We were just speechless.
Like, I would grab Gabe's shoulder and look at him like, have we died and gone to heaven? I'm not real sure what's going on here. Because every time he took a bite, it got exponentially better. And I hate cream corn. Right, so the empanada is kind of like cream corn inside, but the empanada, toasty empanada, gave you some crunch to it. So the texture that I hate about cream corn was gone, and it was like a sweet cream corn inside of an empanada. Blew me away. I was like, okay, I'll eat cream corn if it's served like this all the time. Then we went to the queso.
No,
chorizo.
Queso was third. We did chorizo second.
Chorizo went second. Raised the bar. It was like the chorizo was just spectacular. The cook on the meat, fantastic. It was just amazing. Then we went queso.
Lamb.
Oh, then we did lamb. Oh my God. They just kept getting better. The only thing is that the next,
because he keeps going for that one.
It was
the next to the last one was the only one that took it down a notch, which was the chicken. And it was not bad by any means. It was just chicken. And so you had all these other great things going on, and then you had a chicken empanada, and it was like, I mean, it's great, but it's just chicken.
I think
it had a weird char to the chicken. It was done very well.
Yeah.
It was not what I was expecting inside the empanada. And
I think my issue with the chicken is it's probably the one that you could probably find elsewhere.
Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah. May not be as good, but it would be a close comparison.
Right.
The rest of these, there's no way that you're going to get a plate like something like that.
Queso was phenomenal.
Yeah. And it was exactly what you would expect. It was the empanada, and it was just liquid queso.
Well, but it was like Havarti, and I don't remember what the other cheese was.
I don't even know.
It's 2 cheeses. Havarti and something else. It was just phenomenal. It was like herb Havarti, and it was freaking great.
And it was just like leaked out of the.
Yeah, I was just
so
say, so you just
Gouda. It was Havarti and Gouda.
Yeah.
Which was not what I expected out of an empanada. Right, it's fantastic. And then we finished with steak.
Yeah.
And we all looked at each other again, and that's when Gabe said, "This is probably the best meal I've ever had."
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the steak it blew us away.
Who would have thought?
So this is ingrained in our brain as the place we have to end Gen Con on every year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Kind of like our ramen at LVO.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the ramen place at LVO.
At LVO.
It's like the fried chicken ramen at LVO, except it's way better than that. So, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my God. It's so funny too, because before, like, we would take a moment between every, like, flavor. We'd talk a little bit. And I was, like, going on a tangent talking about something. And Jason's like, all right, Jordan, shut up and eat this one. Eat this one so you'll shut up. And I literally didn't say anything for, like, 5 minutes afterwards. Because I was just, like, stunned by how good it was. It was amazing.
Because none of us were answering him while he was talking. And we're like, if you'd shut up, you'd understand why we're not talking to you. And so he shut up and ate the steak when he was like, and then he just kind of went into this glazed over look and just ate his empanada. It's hilarious. But it was the right way to do it. And Wad, you are definitely correct. It had been a absolutely brutal day on Sunday going through, because you do 10 to 4, so you do 6 hours on Sunday. Then you break down, and it's absolute chaos at the show to get out of the show. They don't give you time slots to get onto the docks. They just open the gates, and whoever's in line gets first place. And so you get a close slot or you get a far slot. And then as people load, or as people pull out, they pull more people in. So it's a nightmare. The previous year, we didn't load the van until 9. I don't think Ruben and Brendan were able to load the van until like 9 p.m.
Oh, really?
Because they didn't get in line soon enough, and the whole show was in front of them. And there's literally a few hundred vendors. So it's not like Adepticon, where there's like 50.
Right.
It's hundreds of people trying to get to the docks. And there's just no organization, so it's horrible. So we got in early. We sent Gabe out to the van 2 hours ahead of time. So he sat in the van sweating his balls off, before the show ended.
Probably the best decision we made, though.
So super Gabe. Panic Bomb at the show was over 70,000, we were told.
So crazy.
It's hard to
For us, there were 4 of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to chill on the Sunday was absolutely amazing. We were all just beat, and that was the way to end it. That meal was just perfect. It was a great way to sit and chill out, have great food, and then go die at the hotel because I had to get up at 4:45.
That sucked, yeah.
So we could fly out the next day.
I was so toasted yesterday, just completely out of energy. I still haven't completely recovered. I'm super tired still.
So how much fighting happened over the leftover empanadas? There weren't any. There were 4 of us, and the flight contained 4 of each type. So we all just grabbed each one and ate the same type at the same time, and they were all done.
I think that's part of why it contributed to being the best meal.
It's so good.
It just every part of that meal, just it was the perfect amount of proportion of food for everybody. We had the beverages were perfect.
Yeah.
Every single being able to try multiple different types of empanadas, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was as much of the experience as it was the food itself, which was spectacular. So,
it was great.
And our server was spectacular too.
T-Cat says they're thinking they might top 80K in total attendees. Last I had heard it was 70K. We didn't think they'd actually hit 70K. The last official number we heard was somewhere in the neighborhood of 68, but they've been advertising it as 70,000 people came and played board games and stuff like that in all of their Gen Con is over announcements. Either way, it's 10 times bigger than anything in the wargaming world, and it's too many people. It's just too many. It's a sea of humanity up and down the aisles, 24 hours a day. It was crazy.
I just Googled empanadas, and there are several places around us that have them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of want empanadas right now.
Well, I showed them the restaurant that has the pupusas down off of
that sounds
McDowell.
So good, too.
Yeah.
It's you can go get a quarter chicken, some Spanish rice, and a pupusa.
That one came up as an empanada.
They have empanadas as well, yeah.
It's hard, though, because, I want empanadas, but I'm not...
to be those empanadas.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm ever going to get anything that beats those.
So now we've made everyone in chat leave to go get food.
Everybody's booking flights to Indianapolis to get a delivery.
Everybody's booking flights. My wash has now dried, or is getting close to drying. You can see
An empanada is a little it's like a hand pie.
Yeah,
right?
It's like a dumpling almost.
Yeah.
It's just a bread pocket of deliciousness.
Yeah, like a hot pocket. It's kind of an empanada.
Have you eaten a gyoza, like a Japanese dumpling or anything like that, or whatever they call it? Fried dumpling.
Yeah.
It's the same shape, just a round bread pinched together in a half moon, stuffed with amazing things.
Like a
yeah, T-Cat, you can see how our making a wash with the glazed wash medium gives you a really, really good, even and consistent layering. It doesn't get splotchy. I just stippled that on there, but you can see how nice it lays into the recesses. Right? Doesn't make it cloudy.
Mini changas.
Looks really, really good. It's just too easy to use. And you can do that with every color. Remember, that was burnt sienna. I could have just used our flesh wash and gotten close, right? But that was just taking burnt sienna, making a wash, throwing it on there. Great results right out of the gates. That's all you got to do.
Avian, obviously. But when someone doesn't understand what an empanada is, a Hot Pocket is a valid comparison.
It's a brute force comparison.
It is. It's just a Hot Pocket.
The same shape, the same texture.
It kind of is.
I know.
It's not quite the same thing. But it is a valid representation.
Many
Mulder
food
says-
cultures have a version of it.
Yeah.
There's the calzone.
Oh, Xenobond is stepping out of
The
line. It's a
pasty.
closed hot dog.
It is
That
not a
is
closed
not
hot
the
dog.
case.
Absolutely not a closed
How
hot
dare you
dog.
disrespect the empanada? Holy cow. Woo.
A hot pocket, but molten lava that melts your mouth when you try to eat it too soon. I mean, hot pockets are pretty dangerous too. Corn dog minus the stick.
No.
Oh, you heretic.
No.
You sad, sad
Corn
boy.
dog is just, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Not the same.
Those things are not the same. Jen's got it right.
El Noveno Reno, what is going on? Is this Aaron? Hello. Welcome from Mexico.
Hey. Hello.
He heard us talk about empanadas.
Yeah.
He heard
Oh,
someone
my
say an empanada is just a corn dog minus the stick, and Aaron's here to set the record straight.
Yeah.
Comes in to put his foot down.
Tell him because it's like, oh, geez, not the food classification argument again.
I literally had my own Gen Con because I stayed home. It was Gen Con at my house.
I heard
I had a dog.
I heard you had a great time rewatching some Ted Lasso.
I did not.
You did not.
I did not rewatch the Ted Lasso.
Oh,
No.
I was misinformed.
Did not. I painted
You painted?
our bathroom
House.
ceiling.
Oh, okay. I was
at
like,
our old house,
Okay.
and repaired some little parts of the walls that had paint coming off. I cleaned my house that I currently live in. Did all the chores. Did my laundry. That was Gen Con. Did not eat delicious empanadas or fried chicken
sorry, Jen.
or any of those things.
I brought you some back.
I don't want it. You should have told me yesterday. Would have been a little fresher.
Well, they took it from me at the airport,
Yeah.
is what I was going to let you know.
Yeah,
Would
we
not
ordered
allow
extra
me.
for you, Jen.
What is a Mars bar though? Cause like I'm down for like a deep fried Snickers, deep fried Oreos, but a Mars bar I feel like has nougat, and to me nougat is something that shouldn't exist.
Shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I'm not a nougat fan.
You don't like Three Musketeers?
Musketeers is all right.
No, I don't like Three Musketeers.
It's a very reasonable food.
Don't like a Milky Way either. Too nougaty.
Too nougaty.
Yeah.
What about like Almond Joy?
I can do an almond joy because it's almond and coconut. There's no nougat. But it's milk chocolate. The Mounds bar is better because it's dark chocolate.
They make dark
then
chocolate.
that's just
They
pure.
make both in dark chocolate.
Oh
now.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I would. That'd be good.
There we go. There's the ivory. Oh man, just pulling up memories of that dinner.
What?
It's Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so good.
He's reliving his
He's
dream.
reliving this dinner.
He's
Twix
reliving
are
the
the best
dream.
chocolate bars. Twix are all right.
It was good enough to relive.
Bill started saying he needed to find ways to sneak his girlfriend into next year's Gen Con trip
Yeah.
so that he could take her there.
Oh.
Yep.
They were all talking about how this would be the perfect place to, like, you know, if you had a private jet, you'd fly to that place and have empanadas. So I feel
Yeah.
like it was getting fairly creative on how good the place was.
Yeah. The best part is, like, we're not exaggerating at how good it was either. It is, like, actually just that good.
Well, now I feel like we need to find something here that's that level, even if it's not empanadas. We need to find like.
We have Los Dos
Hostos is where we go all the time, though.
because we're lucky and it's local. We'd go to
Yeah.
the empanada joint all the time if we lived there.
Well,
It's true. I would eat those empanadas until I got sick. The bummer is you
Hostess
can't
is-
get like one of each.
Hostos is good, but I would not call it the best food I've ever eaten.
Yeah, I would agree.
Narkhill wants to know if it was your first time in Indy. I know that Baby J is from there, so it was probably not his first.
I am not from
Well,
there,
you lived
He has
there.
but I
family.
have
lives
family there, so I have
Okay.
been there, and I've been to Gen Con a lot. So I think I've been to-
Indy is only a city I know from conventions, and I've been to many conventions there.
Well, we're not in Indiana. We're in Arizona, and we won't be back probably until next year.
I'm gonna be back for the holidays.
And he's going
Well,
to get
Yeah,
empanadas.
guess where I'm
And you
going.
should try the Rathskeller, according to Ostino.
You know what's actually really funny? So Scrumbly Dumpus, I was talking to him about delivery last night, and he was like, "Wait a second, we went there on Wednesday. It was amazing."
Oh, fun.
And he's like, "You know where else you should go? The Rathskeller."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so it has been recommended to me as well. So perhaps that'll be on the menu for next year.
I have to go lock the door. I will be right back.
Okay.
I put some burnt orange down on my letters.
Nice.
Next is some dark yellow green.
On the letters?
Yeah.
What's the idea behind the burnt orange into
Gold.
yellow green? Gold. That tracks.
Gold.
It's a good build up for the gold. I think I'm gonna punch up this red a little bit more. We desaturated a touch.
You don't know how folks in Arizona can deal with the heat? 50 Fahrenheit is too hot for you. 50 is too hot. What? Where are you from? Antarctica? How is 50 too hot?
I mean, I'll give you a trick. It's called "Don't be outside."
There is that.
Yeah, the trick is to just not be outside. If you can make that happen, your life is great.
You remember all the things they taught you as a kid about like nuclear holocaust and get under the desk? We just live that way here.
We live under the desk.
Northern Scotland, you wear shorts in the snow. All right, so I know I've been to Northern Scotland. It gets over 50 degrees Fahrenheit there quite frequently, and it can be very humid.
Lounge lizards. Oh my god. Come to my work, the warmest part of the building is 40 degrees, and the freezer stays at -10.
People are crazy.
Sounds like heaven.
You people are crazy. I don't like living in that cold. I've done it. I don't like it. They gotta have like an even, 70, even 70, like 7 is great if you're gonna have a consistent temperature. Something in the like 20, what is that, 23C range. Sound about right?
Sounds pretty close.
You've looked to see if they have any openings at the facility in Phoenix where you work, Toe? Dude,
Nice.
you would have so much fun here with us. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
Stay inside and avoid the heat.
Yeah, stay inside and avoid the heat.
That's a
Duck
pretty
and
easy
cover.
one. Duck and cover. Your minis would melt between the game store and your car. Game Master's vault.
They do that, by the way.
Yeah.
They do that.
It's definitely I do not keep anything in my car. I had
Bright yellow green.
I had
or
my
not bright yellow green, just yellow green.
I had a water bottle. You probably remember this, Jason. When I first got here.
Left in his car.
I left it in my car. I could not use it anymore.
It wouldn't sit like on the table anymore. It was like a weeble wobble.
Yeah, it would like roll around.
Probably wasn't good to drink out of it after that.
Yeah. So I had to buy a new one, and that one stays inside. Not so big of a fan of spending another $30 on a water bottle. It's a great water bottle though. It's got camo cats on it. It's great.
Oh, it does. Like, what is that? That's cats?
Those are cats.
In
yeah.
camo?
Yep. It's so cool though because it's really hard to notice until you look at it and somebody tells you, and then you're like, oh my god, those are cats. What the heck? Because it just looks like camo. It's great.
I'm stippling this to give it a rough texture as I go.
Nice little gold workup. Do you know where you're going to be going from there for the highlights?
We'll go into yellow ochre and then make the jump.
Nice. How are the doors?
The doors are locked.
Excellent.
Jacob and Ruben are still here.
Yes. They're playing some card games.
Playing some cards.
Did you ask him if you could join in, babe?
What's that?
Did you ask him if you could join in the card games?
They said no. They said they don't allow girls.
Whoa.
They didn't want to get their asses whooped. They're very afraid of Jen.
Did you guys already talk about this, Mulder and Willow TV saying I don't know how folks in Arizona can deal with the heat? 50
Yes.
degrees
Yep.
Fahrenheit. Oh.
Mm-hmm. I think we should be pretty caught up.
Did we determine that there's something wrong with that? 50 degrees is too hot.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
there's
have
some
been
insanity
successfully
happening in
chast-
chat.
Okay.
Some people that are
Are they
a
lying?
little insane.
They have been chastised as well. So.
Okay. Are they lying though?
No, from the north of Scotland.
Oh.
All right, now some yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. So my next color is going to be yellow ochre and pale yellow. Yellow ochre moves us from the green and orange into gold, the range of yellows, and the pale yellow desaturates the whole thing and makes it more like gold. I paid a lot for this mini. Now it looks like a big wad of chewed gum. You do not leave your miniatures in your car when you live in Arizona. Or you do it once
Yeah.
when you live in Arizona.
Yeah.
I have not done it yet.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Plastics I feel like are okay, but anything resin or even remotely that, no.
Don't do it.
Just think I could tell these dad jokes in person. Paint liquor, best way to make the Nurgle demons look extra soupy. Just leave them out in the Arizona sun for a little bit. I wish I had the bases for these, because I would glue them down and do basing stuff on them. Not sure I want to add any other colors to these. Could do their chainmail in like a silver, but I don't know. It kind of does feel like it needs another color. But also, tabletop is just tabletop.
You gotta stop yourself. How far are you trying to get?
Right, exactly.
That's the age-old, I never finish anything, right?
Yep.
It's like it's always a work in progress if you don't tell yourself that's enough.
It's true, yeah. Seriously. Where did that other guy go? I had another one over here. Oh my god. So weird. We'll find it later. In the interim, you can paint an Obi-Wan Kenobi. With some brown. We're going to use dark flush. Seems like a good color.
I'm going through and as you see edge highlighting the bottom where the orange is, that gives me that dimension, so I get that shine. So it already starts to look like some sort of shiny material. And you just want to make sure that you're doing this edging thick enough that you can still plant the brighter pale yellow along the edge on the top. The bottom edge, like what I'm doing right this second, will stay just in the yellow ochre. But the stuff on the top here where the green was will get highlighted into pale yellow. That's our light facing direction.
Marco Frazzoni raiding us. Hello.
No way.
What?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hope everybody had a great stream. For those of you who are new, we are Monument Hobbies.
That's us.
This is us. We make fantastic, awesome paint by the name of Pro Acryl. Maybe you've heard of us. Maybe you have not.
Now you have.
Now you have. All the stuff we use to paint all of these fantastic miniatures is available on our web store.
Hi. Welcome.
Hi.
I'm painting runes on a rhino's butt.
Yep.
Not technically on his butt. They're
Jason.
kind of on the cloth that hides his butt, but we're going to go with
It's
kind
butt
of
adjacent.
It's butt adjacent. So we were painting runes on butt adjacency.
Rune on butt adjacency. Marco Frazzoni. Hello, guys. How are you tonight? We are doing fantastic. Or at least I am. I'm having
Hopefully
a
you
great
are
time.
as well. We are a little bit beat after Gen Con.
Yeah.
We just got back from the big convention here in the States known as Gen Con. You may have heard of it.
They did. I didn't.
Yeah, Jen was
Jen's a little miffed because we've been talking about the food we ate while we were there, and so I feel like
did.
she's gonna be mad at me for a week or two. I have to take her out to fine dining now.
Yeah.
Chino Bandito time.
See, I don't consider Chino Bandito to be fine dining.
It's not fine dining.
It does taste good.
It's delicious. Was your empanada place like a fancy restaurant?
It was
fancier
borderline.
than we thought it
Oh,
was
really?
gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't so fancy that I felt uncomfortable wearing like
Hey, somebody likes us.
very, very casual clothes,
Convention
but it was
clothes, yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marco, hope you're doing well. Thanks for bringing the gang here. Hope you're still enjoying the streaming. Marco is a fantastic painter. For those of you that do not know him, crawl out of your rock.
Crawl
From
out
under
of
your rock and go check him out. Fantastic YouTuber. Just recently picked up streaming.
Spat's not every day around here is Gen Con.
Yeah, Marco. I can only imagine after Adepticon you were done for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty toast for about a week.
We're right back at it.
Yeah.
No rest for the weary.
I had.
You gotta have the right attitude. The energized after a great show. I'm ready to come back.
I mean,
that really is it,
That's
right?
Philip.
That really is it.
Philip was like that. I had to tell him that he should stay home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just pumped to get back.
It
to
was a
work.
great show.
Yeah.
It's just a beatdown, especially because, hey, Marco, you all understand this because you were at Adepticon this year, and Adepticon was pretty good. It had like nearly 8,000 people there, 7,800 people. Gen Con was 10 times that many. It was over 70,000, we're being told.
That looks like.
It's overwhelming
Yeah.
if you've never seen it before.
How silly is that?
Uh-oh.
For 4 days, we navigated that.
We're
As
getting
did everybody. It was a tremendous show. Tons of vendors. It's not really. It was definitely not mini wargaming focused, but it's great to be there in the land of nerddom. It is definitely more of a board game show, but with the advent of more and more board games having a miniature-based component to them, we're starting to see a lot more uptake in attendees looking at figuring out how to paint their first minis. So it was great being there. We sponsor a lot of the courses that the painters give. And of course, we love meeting everybody from the stream and such. So it's always a great time.
Marco said, thanks a million. I love streaming. Here I'm painting display stuff. It's totally different creative opportunity because competition models don't work as well on YouTube, on live, like video.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's hard to get people to watch like a super long video.
Yeah, because you spend more time, right?
Right? Yeah, because it all takes more time. Less stuff is happening over a shorter period of time. It's all subtle changes over the long haul,
Yeah.
right? So I can definitely see that for sure.
I am working on a model that is for an upcoming game that our gaming studio is working on.
Tony Boy, hello.
Tony Boy, hello.
Say one of the test sculpts that we did in COcast for one of the factions. So having a lot of fun just working around it. All right, so that's it. So that's the basis. So we've done burnt orange, dark yellow green, and then yellow ochre. Now we'll go into pale yellow. Pale yellow will desaturate it back down. I don't like my golds to feel like they're too fake, you know, like 24 karat gold plated type golds that are too yellow, too warm. Gold, as it gets polished over time and over again, tends to be less warm.
Jordan, you're off screen.
Oh, sorry.
Desaturates quite a bit. Let's grab a numero uno here.
Paint liquor. Yeah, I'd never watched someone paint Horus for 3 weeks.
We didn't paint Horus for 3 weeks.
I think we did.
Was it 3 weeks? I thought it was only 2.
I'm pretty sure we did 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought we painted him pretty quick.
I mean, we spent a solid 30-something hours on it.
The Bug King said, I have a bit of feedback on the store. I was giving a tutorial on snow bases, use the snow texture. Couldn't find the texture in the store. Now I know it's in the paint section. Could they get their own subsection for ease of finding? They do have, I just was looking, they are under the main paint heading, and then they have...
They are a texture paint, so
in
everything
menu
that
from
is
there.
Pro Acryl is under the paint section on purpose. And then you find the subheadings underneath there. Otherwise, we'd have way too many headings. We've thought about that in the past, but it's just too much to say, call basing paint something other than paint, and people get confused.
Marco said, have a great stream, guys, running to bed with no stops in between. Have a good night.
Alrighty, have a good night.
Take care, Marco. Thank you for the raid. Sleep well, my friend. But yeah, Bug. Duly noted. I think maybe I'll go ahead and put just a little bit of shine down here on this corner.
Well, TomTom's off to Battletech. Says, have a good night, all.
Ooh, good luck. Shoot down many mechs, sir.
Oh, Bug King said, I think my confusion was I was calling it texture paste, not texture paint.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, we treat them as paints. So, but I get your drift. How about that? That top room.
Looking good.
Nice. Paint Liquor said, speaking of Horus, coming up on the 6-month mark, new challenge?
It is not coming up on the 6-month mark.
It's coming up
You
on
lost your mind.
5.
He hasn't even been here. We were just talking about it. He's going to be here 5 months and at the end of August.
No, I think I've been here for 5 months.
Matte
Wait,
Varnish is
March
coming.
To April.
Be
April to May.
patient.
No,
Working on
22nd.
it. We'll have it soon.
No. March to April. Well, I can't. No, because I got in at the end of March. At least I started here at the
Before
end of
Adepticon.
March.
Like,
Well, Adepticon was my first
right,
day, basically.
right.
So, yeah. So, yeah, 5 months. 5 months at the end of August. Still is a while. It's a good amount of time.
Don't try to make it seem like I've been putting up with him for longer than I really have.
Wow.
He said, start prepping now then. No excuses.
Oh my goodness. See what I have to deal with every day, chat? I just get bullied. To be fair, though, a lot of it is my own doing.
I wasn't going to say it.
You didn't need to.
I wasn't going to say it.
You didn't need to.
Disgrace Sphere, we did too.
There you go. Nice.
Looks very good. Nice and shiny.
Take on gold that keeps it shiny but doesn't have to push it into just all yellows, right? I can really lean into the green and the orange base that way. And the orange becomes more of an environmental reflection when you do this. And the green then sets up the mid-tone for the gold and your shadow base. So you can see like the orange lays in and looks like a reflection of the ground almost, right? Oh, talking about the matte varnish. Is that what Disgrace Free
Yeah.
was saying? Yeah, it was supposed to come out at the same time. We had to go back to the lab with it. We had a couple of issues with it in the humidity here. We actually got lucky that it got monsoon
was.
moist here the week before launch, and we were able to catch an issue that it had when placed in a very, very humid environment. It was starting to kind of satin out. So we're just going to increase the matte nature of it. We should be done with testing in a week or so. And then as soon as we can, we'll rebottle. And you guys will have a matte varnish as well.
That will be very exciting.
Yeah, the idea, obviously, when we released this satin paints was to be able to give you the ability to knock them down into a matte at the same time. You can use the glaze and wash medium for the time being.
Omicron Samurai, you're off. See us tomorrow. Excellent. We will look forward to seeing you, sir.
Have a good night.
Have a wonderful evening.
The front went a lot faster.
It's a lot smaller, though, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's about this. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit smaller. It's also not as visible, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have as much that I got to worry about, but I'm happy with that. To figure out what I want to do with the runic scarring, the scarification on him. What would scarification on a rhino skin look like?
Probably just look up what scars look like on a rhino, right?
I could just do it like pinkish anyway.
Yeah.
Bring some anthropomorphism.
Mo says that the first book in the Silo series is on sale at Audible for $4.
Ooh,
I've had them for so long.
I'll buy it.
Everybody should buy it. I saw that yesterday. I think I got the email. I've had it for so long that I have the omnibus that came out. I think when this had to have been years ago, maybe even before anybody had looked to license it. Who knows? Disgrace, that's awesome. Thanks. Silo is wool. Yes, the first book is called Wool. But they came out with like a wool compendium that had wool, and I forget what the other books were called, but
So the last one's called Silo, right?
I think the last one is Silo. I don't remember. It was the wool omnibus, and that's all I know. So. Yeah, it was named Wool after the wool pads they'd give you to go out and clean the lens on the camera. I have yet to go back and watch more episodes of that. Like I said, I'm a really bad TV guy. You and I watching Ted Lasso, it's only because you watch it and say, hey, are we watching Ted Lasso while we eat dinner, that I get through it. Not because I don't like it. I actually really like it. But because I just don't find myself making time to sit and watch TV. And Jen watches TV out in the living room till usually 9 or 10. And so after that, I'm not really wanting to go out in the living room very often and watch TV. So I don't go watch Silo and what's the other one? Foundation.
You can always watch, if you want to watch your shows, you can watch your shows.
Oh, I know. I know it's not you keeping me from watching them. It's just that I'm a bad TV watcher and I don't care. I get wrapped up in playing Noida.
Yeah.
And building silly wands and.
It's hard to say no to Noida. That's the problem.
I'm having a hard time with it. I thought my game was going to end last night.
Oh?
Yeah, I was getting close. I think I'm just going to go kill the final boss so I can get that done and over with, and then I'll start a new game. The problem when you kill the final boss is that you're done, and then you got to start over anyway. So it's kind of like, meow. Yeah, I nearly died last night on some other ridiculous boss. It was in this total black area, and I was just wandering around. Nothing can beat me, and then you get into this big open arena, and there's a boss, and you're like,
Except for that thing.
Yeah,
that thing can kill me.
And he has a shield that bounces all of your spells directly back at you.
Oh, that sounds
and
like...
changes ownership of them, so they damage you. And I had a very high output wand, like high rate of fire wand, and I chunked down like 2/3 of my health with like one volley at him. So I hightailed it out of there. Now, is Foundation good if you erase Asimov from your brain? I haven't found the need to do that. I don't feel like it's a horrible telling of it. I have not read Foundation in the series in a long time. So,
I have not read it, and I enjoyed it.
It's funny because in a way, Asimov is kind of like younger, in some cases, younger adult sci-fi, and in some cases not. Because some of it's very hard sci-fi, but it's written in a way that, like just the cadence of his writing is easier to pick up. And so I found myself, as I get older, not enjoying the Asimov that I love. And so I don't read him. I don't find myself going back and reading Asimov as much. Because I find that I don't take away the same thing that I did as a younger adult and teenager, right?
That makes sense.
So I try not. I guess I could say I actively don't go back and read Asimov. Heinlein is more my style if I'm going to go back and read stuff that was from my childhood, because Heinlein as a kid I didn't get as much, and so you got to go back as an adult to get it. You tried episode 1 of Foundation, and it was like watching the Senate on C-SPAN. I didn't think it was anywhere near that bad. It was not an intense watch, right? Because the story isn't like that. The story is a long journey, and it is very political-ish, But trust me, it picks up. Mo, you deleted Diablo 4 and installed BG3? I've heard BG3 is really good. I heard it is like the 10th highest consecutive players on Steam in the history of Steam. And it's been doing that, pulling that off normally.
Oh, BG3, okay.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I heard BT, and I was like, what's BT? Yeah, Baldur's Gate I've heard is very popular right now.
Paint Liquor says it is very good. Very good story-wise. I mean, it's a turn-based combat thing, so it's not like the combat's a real big deal. But I assume it plays well. You stopped playing D4 as soon as Final Fantasy 16 came out?
I need to finish beating that game.
BT equals British Telecom. No. BG3. Yeah, Foundation picks up after episode 1. Casey Bags, thank you for the follow. But I'm with you. Some shows are tough to get with because the pacing can be off, and it's so hard to, we talk a lot on the stream when we're discussing nerd stuff, and the transition from what it takes to be a good work of fiction to a good work of visual fiction, and there's a big disparity there in a lot of cases because you're having to contain everyone's imagination in one visual. If Jordan and I and Jen go watch a movie, we're all seeing the exact same thing.
Yep.
If we all read the book, we're not seeing the exact same thing. We're being told the exact same thing, and we're allowed to envision it in 3 different ways.
Yep.
And so movies tend to take that imaginative sense away from fiction, especially in fantasy and sci-fi that we all love, because it roots it in one visual. And so you don't have the ability to think and be creative in your own mind to adapt the story. I like the fact that reading even audiobooks as it's being told by a narrator gives me the opportunity to have an internal vision and let the author just guide me through my own version of the story. And movies don't do that. And so if you have a book that takes a long, slow burn to get going, there's a lot more flexibility in you generating the story along with the author to get you through it. Whereas when it's told visually, you can just be like, like you said, like sitting through C-SPAN, and you're like, next, because it's just, I think we also sit down when we watch TV and we have a different expectation of the pacing because we have a limited frame of time, and we want in that frame of time to be told something kind of succinctly, start, finish, even cliffhangery, it's still a finish. And so it's tough for sure.
Untamed Geek, thank you for the follow, and don't be embarrassed. You're here now.
Embarrassing, I wasn't following.
Casey Bags, also, thank you for the follow.
Plus one to Hobby.
Yeah.
Just got your Pro Acryl starter set last night. You're blown away. Going to be hard for me to use some specific pot-contained paints again. We love to hear it, right? We have been endorsed as the paint company that generates the most new hobbyists due to the amount of old paints that are given away by Pro Acryl enthusiasts to said new hobbyists. So don't worry, there is always someone new who can use your old paints. And then when they see you using Pro Acryl and they decide they enjoy painting and they get Pro Acryl, those paints can go through tons of people. So just look at it as if you're helping to birth the next generation of Pro Acryl enthusiasts. Paint Liquor, take it easy. To watch some Commander matches while cooking? Say what?
That sounds like a lot going on.
Maverick says, it's funny you say that because I feel that way about animation to live action. That's
really hard to get right.
Can be. I think that's a tough one because the visual is so striking as an anime, right? Because there's a human interpreting and delivering their visual the same way you would in your head as you're reading a book. And so there's a different enjoyment to it. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, right? But animation is one that has the striking visual, and then you turn it into live action, and it takes away from some of the creativity, I think, or the imaginative source material at that point.
Well, I think it also is one of those types of mediums that really utilizes the space that it exists in to do things that are difficult to do or can't be done in. There's
that too, right? Because
medium.
you can just go wild in animation.
Yes.
Right? Bodies can tweak in ways they can't in reality, and so then you're reliant upon CGI that's either good or, the Flash has been getting tanked because the CGI was so bad, right?
Yep.
So Narkill says, I simply gave away all my old paints when I got the Monument Hobbies paint. See? It works. We're doing our part.
We're doing our part.
Ring makes that good point of that eventually you're going to have the conversation.
Oh, you had PA available and you gave me this? Division ring, but that's a good one. It's like, well, we didn't want to make it seem like you had to be overburdened as you journey along this path for the first time. These are the starter. This is the finish line.
It's the sequence.
You have made it, right? You remember when Jen was just starting to market the brush soap back in the Slow Fuse days, but took a break from mini hobby to come back to a full-blown hobby company? Oh, +1, that's awesome.
That's a long
that's
time ago.
Super cool.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because it was, if you're talking about that was when Slow Fuse Gaming had one brush pack. We had the Bomb Wicks, which was, at the time, there was no variation. It was just the long handle, black, gloss, sables. that we did, Jen's brush soap, and the go bag. And probably the MDF racks. We had started doing the MDF racks. So and we had agitators and things like that. We had a lot of hobby adjacent, supplies at that time. Empty bottles, bomb wicks and soap. Yeah, that was the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning.
20.
The MDF racks were fresh. Yeah, and the go bag was probably either like just showing up or was in production.
Yeah.
Secondhand name, the brush soap and the go bag, the bomb snail patch. Yep. You're talking about it. The old go bags that had the SFG, they had the Slow Fuse Gaming logo on them. Right?
Like there's still one around here somewhere.
Oh, we still have all of them.
Yeah.
We have every generation of go bag here in multiple colors. We still have the red, the purple, the blue, the green.
There's some right down there, I think.
We have we will have a Monument Hobbies museum one day. It'll be one small room. It'll be like a closet. You open it up and it's like, look, behold the stuff.
We'll have a little bottle of Special White.
Oh, yeah.
That we'll have to buy back from Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben has like a bottle of Special White. I don't think we have one anywhere.
No.
We might have one like in a box around here someplace. I don't know.
Special White.
I had to borrow his for that picture when I posted it a long time ago.
Division Ring says, watching Baby J do that cloak, I was tuning in a while ago and he was just putting the initial burnt red on that thing. Baby J doesn't play with the paint, man. He goes fast.
Yeah.
He's not like me. He doesn't sit over here and like nurse the purple for 6 hours. Right? Although I did my gold pretty quick.
You did, yeah.
I painted my gold runes very fast. That has to account for something.
I think it counts for everything. You get full points.
Grumfrummel?
Grumfrummely.
It'll have some add-ons coming soon.
Yeah, the new Evo is amazing. You had one critique: if you were able to add a rack system or something for easier mini transport in the back pouch, other side of the paint pouch, that would be amazing. So the back, probably not. And the reason for that is that it tapers too quick to give you enough depth, but we do have a solution coming for miniature carrying that could replace one of the paint trays or attach to the bag as a companion bag. We also have a half-size go bag coming out that is the same Evo style, but is just 48 paints. And it also has a piggyback situation where the mini case can piggyback to the go bag half-size. And it's tremendous. So you'll have a lot of really cool stuff coming out that allows you to do neat stuff with the Evo. I just got the announcement or the email yesterday, I believe. I should have here at the office the samples to go through for approval. And assuming we approve them, we'll show them off on stream for most of that stuff next week. So that'll be good. I will be at Nova. Yep. Secondhand name. It will be myself and Jordan.
Hello.
We will be at Nova just painting, hanging out. We got to figure out some models to take. But I figure I'll probably take like a Mineworks bust or a Journeyman model or something like that.
You might do one of each.
And maybe take a couple of the finished models that we've done here recently or somewhat finished models that we've done here recently so we can have to show off.
I'd like to have the sacrifice done before we go.
We can take the Horaces, things that people have watched us paint on stream. We got enough models that we've done here recently that we can take.
Absolutely.
Take some display stuff to set out on the table. Maybe we'll bring the display case. We could send that ahead of time.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea.
We don't really have a plan.
It's going to be a
We're
very
sponsoring
chill
the Capital Palette.
experience.
We're giving away cash prizes for the winners. We're hanging out talking to people and painting models.
We got
Probably having some good dinners that we can hang over Jen's head again.
and I put them on Jordan's desk.
What's that?
The stickers for that.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Very good.
Carson, half-size go bag. Yeah. So we had the original go bag was about half of what the Evo is right now, and we always intended to keep that as part of the line, but we wanted to prove out the go bag Evo first, see if people enjoyed it at the larger size full workstation, because that was really, as its name implies, the evolution of what I wanted the bag to become. I wanted it to be something that when you get where you're going, it is the tool. It's the primary thing, and it becomes your whole workstation. So it's proven itself. People love it. We sell out of it all the time. It's an amazing bag. Now we're going to then engineer backwards to give you a solution that's a little more cost-effective. The half size will be under $100. I'm not sure where it's going to land. It's probably going to be somewhere in the $90 to $95 range. And then the miniature bag will be somewhere in the like $35 to $40 range, probably something like that. So that whole solution, if you were to buy the half-size go bag, it's got storage pouch in the back, one paint tray, tool storage, all that stuff in it, shoulder strap, and then you could add the other one to it for around $130, and you could have the miniature case, 48 paints. But the miniature case could be added to the Go Bag Evo as well. We've got a storage bag that's kind of like a large water bottle holder, but also like just a bag of holding that goes on the molly webbing on either of the bags. So you can attach that for more storage, put brushes in it, other ancillary junk. Sizes for everyone. Yeah, exactly. The brush vault's your favorite. You might need a third soon, Law Dog. That's awesome.
That's super popular.
The brush vault is one of our best designs to date. It's very simple, but it just does its job well. Does exactly what you need it to do, 100%. It's great. I love how secondhand name is like, or are you sending minions? We haven't reached that point yet. Soon. Soon. We will send the minions.
I mean, you're half sending the minion for one day.
Oh, you have to go set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I fly in and wow everybody with my amazing paint styles and beauty, and then leave.
You guys are leaving together, though.
You did a good job straight facing that one.
I just turn on the optimism.
It just turned on the optimism. I got this.
That's all I gotta do.
I got this. Aaron, your friend Daniel will visit tomorrow with a surprise from Mexico for you. Uh-oh. What's this surprise, I wonder? We love Daniel. Be good to see him. Division Ring says, watching Slowfuse do that Rhino butt wipe reminds me I still haven't properly figured out brush sizing and control for doing highlights. I just used a beat-up number 1 to do the edge highlighting on the gold. Everything else was done with a number 2. I switched down to the 1 for the pale yellow.
Just spraying over there, Jordan.
I am spraying nothing but a little bit of brown transparent.
Ooh, boy, that looks good.
Yeah, it's thinned down a bunch, so it's going to take a few layers to build it up to really smooth everything out, but I'm going to go really slow. I built the highlights up. You probably saw earlier how bright those highlights were. Mm-hmm. And as I smooth this out with this brown transparent, it's going to pull those down to be a nice soft highlight. It's going to take layers, but that's kind of the process for doing this sort of thing. You build up a bunch of layers of really transparent color. And this is about 3 parts glaze and wash medium to 1 part brown transparent, and then another 50% water added on top, and you get this nice, very, very, I mean, it's like just
nice,
kissing,
warm, orangey brown filter.
Yeah, it's just kissing the model. Like if I show it on this base, right?
CJ Eric, thank you for the follow.
You can see it on the edge right there. It's like such a small amount of color. It's very subtle. So
Looks
see
good.
it. We'll see it as it dries over the next 15 minutes or so.
Division Ring, regarding highlighting, I'm usually using a number 2 as your smallest and just going too fast. A lot of times it's pressure too. Speed, once you get the handling down, speed is, I won't say it's irrelevant. You can make nice tight lines then fast. But a lot of times it's brush pressure, right? Because the more pressure you apply with the brush, the thicker the line is, right? So if I take this brush and grab, what do I have over here that's still wet? Anything? Nothing? Nothing? No wet paint. Wah, wah, wah. Literally nothing. Oh, maybe here. I'll put something new out. Dark purple.
What this looks like shading some of this cloak a little bit. Just kind of curious.
Oh, shading the red with that?
Yeah.
The nice thing with that filter that you're using with the brown is that it can be like an overall model filter to pull your colors together.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of.
When you're working with warm tones.
Yeah.
So it's a good blender that doesn't alter your color too much.
Yeah.
The big problem a lot of people have with filters is that it changes the color so drastically.
Just do it very
They're
subtly.
afraid to do it. Right, so if I take this, which is number 4, right, it's got a good point on it. So, I mean, I can do a fairly good thin line, which would be used to edge highlight something like those runes I just did, right? If you don't pay any mind to the hair on my hand flexing the bristles, right? But you could do a nice thin line. But if you're pressing too hard, then that thin line can, you know, start getting chunky, and you'd have to thin it back out, which can be a neat technique for doing edging. If you're trying to create, you know, larger blocky blends along a surface and then taper it, you can do that, right? You'll see me a lot of times as I'm working an edge, press harder at the beginning, and then as I get out to the end, lessen my pressure so that I taper it out. So it looks like a blended edge at that point in time. But if you're trying to go in like I was with the pale yellow there, I just want to keep a nice tight line. So you just got to make sure you're barely touching the model. So you keep that line really, really thin. You just want to barely drag that edge along there. And even this big bulky brush can do that, right? And keep delivering paint for quite a while, as you see. But if you go in tight and you start pressing hard, then your edges become chunky, and then you lose the contrast you're looking for, because this chunky line here across the top may cover up the last color that you did. And so now you've got your bright color. Sorry, this is dark purple, but if you were doing this as an edge highlight, you can imagine had I, you know, you can see where I wanted it chunky, where I want to cover everything up because my angle of lighting is there. But then on these other faces, I don't want that. I want to be able to control it. And so you want a really thin line. So press harder or layer in certain areas and not in others. Because if you cover up that last, like say the yellow ochre, or we cover up all the green because we do a big chunky edge highlight, then all of a sudden you lose that blended feel and you start having darker colors sit next to your brighter colors because you've covered up the intermediary ones with thick line work. So if going to a smaller brush helps you, because a smaller brush, when you apply the same pressure to it, doesn't have the ability, it doesn't have as many bristles, so it can't make the line as thick. But really what you should do is practice doing exactly what you just saw me do, which is just practice with the brush that's your favorite to use, and just practice just barely skating the tip over the model so that you can get a really thin line, right? And again, a lot of that has to do with how you steeple your fingers, right? You'll notice when I do that, I might put my pinky down and then rest my ring finger on my pinky, like this, right? And then rest this finger. You're just building a stable wall that you can lay the brush on, right? And then when I go like this, then when I pull the brush to make a line, right, I'm not using my wrist and doing this because I'll get an arc, right? You're just sliding your pinky finger. All of my fingers stay stable, and I'm sliding. I'm basically using my pinky finger. Let's over-exaggerate it here. If I'm flexing my pinky finger, I'm able to slide my whole hand along my pinky finger, and that's how I'm doing that line. I'm letting my hand slide along that pinky finger, and you'll get a straight line that way, as opposed to trying to do it with your wrist, which makes a curve. So you can get it to where you know you're barely touching the model, and then just slide it on your pinky, and you'll get that nice consistent line that way. But however it feels comfortable for you, you want to find a way to control your brush to where you're not, what you don't want to be doing is sitting out here where you're, zoom out, where you're not touching the model at all, and you got your hand and you're trying to make a line, right? Because now you have no basis, you have no control, you're not balanced on the model, you're just trying to do this, and so you'll either do an arc this way to where your line won't hit the model and it'll exit funny and you'll get a tapered edge and thick in the middle, right? So you want to get in, rest your hand on the model, and then touch the brush and then slide it all the way along, again by moving your pinky or however you've got it steepled on there, so that you have the same pressure at the entrance of your line and the exit of your line, and you're basically just going towards the model, touching, dragging along, and then lifting off. That's how highlighting becomes a lot easier for you.
This cloak's starting to smooth down a lot more. We're getting pretty close to being done with it.
Oh yeah, hell, that's a great color
So
too.
good.
Great, nice beat up cloth or leather.
Yeah, I don't need to remove all of the texture to it, but I want to get rid of most of it. And I can always go back in and apply little scratches of texture too.
It's largely that you're not practiced enough to go as fast as you are. That's a thing, right? You have to be comfortable with the technique before you can speed the technique up. Don't feel bad about going slow as you learn it and gain comfort and confidence with it, and then you can go as fast as you want. Highlights end up going out of bounds and covering too much. Exactly.
Man, our transparents are just freaking awesome.
The transparents are pretty awesome. The problem is you're still burning through the dozens of P3 brushes I got sent for free with your privateer orders instead of a nice firm Monument Synthetics brush. Well, I mean, even a cheap brush can do what I just showed you if you get used to using it. So don't knock the brush necessarily, just take your time. Now, if your brush is completely blown out, it's not going to do what you need it to do. It does need to hold a point, or at least have an edge of the point, a side of the point that is nice and clean so that you can drag it along an edge, right? But even when you're dragging an edge, right? So if we're doing like this gun and you want to do it by using the side of the brush and dragging that edge along the side, you still have to be aware of the pressure you're putting down, because as you exert more pressure here, you're going to load more paint onto that edge, so the edge gets thicker. So you still want to be able to balance your hand, barely make a point, and then go along it evenly, again, without doing an arc, right? Because as you do this arc, you're going to naturally apply less pressure as you enter the arc and as you exit the arc. So the line will be thicker in the middle and then thinner at the end and taper. That can be a good thing. You'll do that strategically when you need it. Maybe you want to taper this edge. You want a thick highlight here and then light highlight at the end. So you'll kind of just do that elliptical swing, that arc, right? Touch it here, drag it, exit, and line will naturally taper. You'll see me do that a lot. But if you want a consistent edge highlight, because it's a flat edge, then you want to touch the model and pull equally so that the same area of the brush is hitting the entire time. That way deliver an equal load of paint across it. And like I said, once you get that down, then speed is not an issue. You can go as fast as you want. Darkosaurus, what's going on?
All right, I think that is probably where I want the cloak to sit.
Looks great.
You can see how much it smoothed down all those highlights that I was talking about where you just went really bright.
I was telling a lot of people at this show that the transparents, when you use them as filters like this, and we talk about it on stream a lot, it lets you get more comfortable with painting fast and not worrying about your blends so much, because you can do it at the end. You just have to plan it out, because the filter is going to alter the coloring. So if you get your color spot on, and then you filter back over, use the glaze wash medium, and use like your mid-tone to filter instead of one of the transparents, you get the same effect. But the transparents with the pigment load on them help to blend out all that highlight that he did, and it looks amazing.
I think the other thing that's worth talking about when you're doing stuff like this too is patience. I think...
Yeah, don't expect it to happen on one pass.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for like 10 minutes, right? Just doing little highlight passes, or rather little blending passes, very, very thin. I mean, like I said, like I'm using this on my hand right now.
But it lets you do that whole cloak in a lot less time than you would to get that same blend and coloration by hand.
It'd be crazy. Yeah, it would take forever. But you can, I mean, you can't see really that blend anymore, texture.
Now it looks great.
Yeah. And any amount of that texture that's still on there looks like cloth texture, which is good. So I might go back in and do a little bit of like deep shading with another transparent.
Yep.
To push it down a little bit further. I might take like some purple and a little bit of transparent.
That looks
black.
fantastic, man. The sleeves look great.
Yeah, thank you.
Be a good model. Is this
So this is the other half of the dual pack that comes with
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there two Vaders?
No, there's just one. So
it's two Obi-Wans.
Yeah, there are two Obi-Wans. So there's the Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars,
right?
Which comes in a separate pack, and then there's this Obi-Wan, which is from the Obi-Wan movie or TV show rather, which comes with a Vader. Gotcha. And then there will be a Vader pack that comes out eventually that comes with some clone troopers.
Gotcha. It comes with a pile of clothes.
Huh? Yeah.
Comes with just that cloak laying on the floor.
Yeah. So true. Dorkosaurus. Hello again.
That about puts a punctuation mark on the stream, I think. I'm petering out.
Yeah, my feet are starting to.
I think we still have Gen Con lag.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad, man. And I didn't do a very good job of relaxing last night, so that didn't help.
What'd you do?
I went out and played Battle Spirits with the guys. I needed some time to like do something that wasn't like
relaxing.
Well, I have a hard time sitting and doing nothing.
Division Ring says, if you're ever worried about how long it takes you to paint a model, remember, slow fuse takes longer.
True.
It depends.
Does it?
It does. I painted 47 battle mechs in like
true.
2 weeks.
That's true.
So take that, Division Ring.
I got to give you credit where credit is due, and it
14,
is due.
what is 47 divided by 14? It's more than 2, right? Yeah, it's over 3 a day. 3 mechs a day, and I didn't even paint every day. Take that. A wizard finishes exactly when he chooses to.
That's not true. He arrives.
Yeah, see, Gosu says Jason going to be mentioning he painted 45 battle mechs until time ends. I mean, that's my only chalice to hold up, right? I feel like we finished Horus in a reasonable amount of time.
Well, you spent a whole extra day on Horus that I didn't.
So, that's your fault.
No, that's just the truth.
That's your fault.
It doesn't
You could have come and painted.
You're correct. I didn't need the extra day.
Yeah, you just left yours unfinished. Zing!
Hey, look, if the clock comes to it and people don't notice it, then did it really need to be painted?
I mean, I think Chet called you out on it.
After the fact.
After the fact.
Hey, look, once the voting is in, it no longer matters.
After the fact. I finished my model. Somebody didn't.
I finished it.
Eventually.
Correct.
And I painted 1 woman in 3 weeks. Your sources are a bit spotty, but I'm given to understand that women are dramatically smaller than battle mechs. Wait a minute. What?
What?
Huh? That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Talking about Morgana?
Sarge says, thank you for the bits, by the way.
Because Morgana is not smaller than battle mechs.
Well, and we're also not doing like Wish.com painting on.
True. Yeah. The sacrifice that I'm painting is not Wish.com.
It takes a little bit longer, but
it is.
I don't
spending
care what these people say.
Lots of time on this.
I paint at my own speed. I'm looking at lots of things here that I painted in like a single stream. Now, they're not done.
I was about to say, how many of them are done?
They're not done, but I got a lot done in a single stream.
Also, remember, I spent the good, solid, better part of the last 2 years teaching myself how to paint like stuff really fast.
Painting fast is irrelevant. Like, if you want to paint fast, learn to paint fast.
Well,
there's no rule to paint fast.
You know, you're also talking to people the entire time, pretty much. Which is slow things down. You're explaining. You're teaching people.
Everything
things.
here is like a 2 times modifier when you have to stream. But and lately, I have not been getting any. I have not been making. It's not that I'm not getting. I'm not making any time off stream to paint.
Correct.
T-Cat, thank you so much for the bits.
Although it would be fun to have a Saturday to come in and just chill and paint. Unfortunately, I have plans this Saturday. I can't do that.
Goes to, I remember people being in the Navy and hearing saying you should be high speed, low drag. I always imagine myself as high drag, low speed. Like I said, a wizard finishes exactly when he means to. If you want stuff painted during a stream, you only manage to finish a palette every, 6 months? What are you talking about?
Again, I think we're kind of missing the purpose of the stream.
The stream is entertainment, folks.
Not about finishing, it's about instruction.
Hell, a bunch of the things that I paint on the stream aren't even models I'm trying to finish. They're just things that I'm like, hey, check out. Here's how to paint a light.
Exactly.
Which is how you wind up with models like this guy that's like, hey, check out how to put wash on, or how our new fluorescence look on that, which, by the way, that lamp is still silly looking. That fluorescent green is redonkulous.
It's even more punchy in person.
Yeah, it's crazy. Instantaneous light effect. I think you're going to love the fluorescence, gang. All right, that's it for us. Thank you so much for hanging out. For those of you that showed up on one of the raids, hopefully you will be enticed to hit that follow button. Remember that we stream 5 days a week when we're not out of town. So now we're back.
We're back.
We should be on a more regular schedule, although I will be spotty on the stream during the course of the week because I do have our master brush maker in town tomorrow that I'm meeting with all day, so I probably will not be on tomorrow's stream, and I probably will not be on Friday's stream because we're shooting a new commercial. So, but the wonderful and glorious Baby J will be guiding you down the How to Paint series and showing you more glorious models.
I gotta figure out what's coming next.
Disgrace Fear says, wait, there's fluorescence coming? I mean, you didn't hear it here, but maybe. God, that's bright.
Law Dog, Master Brush Maker cameo on stream.
Maybe.
I love that purple one.
Maybe.
You guys do. You got to do it in the chairs.
This one? Look at how silly that is. Like, it looks so pale on the stream.
Oh, yeah. It is. I just looked, and I saw it in person. I was like, oh, my gosh.
In person, the camera can't even keep up with the orange. It probably can't keep up with the... No, it can't even keep up with the pink, either.
It's still pretty.
No, it is pretty, but it's better in person.
Oh, yeah.
Way better in person.
I just saw it from way over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys...
You wait until I get on some...
You're missing out!
Some fun when it comes to painting with some fluorescence, because I love doing that.
Law Dog says, Master Brushmaker cameo on stream. If I can convince a 60-plus-year-old German to come be live on the stream, then yes, but probably not.
It's not even, like, you don't even know. Go Sue.
What do you say? I thought you were holding plastic. Doesn't even look like paint. It's so bright. It's super bright. The camera doesn't know justice.
Like, I'm watching it here on the screen, and it's like, okay, yeah, cool, purple and pink and green. I saw it, like, from across the room, out of the corner of my eye, and it is so much brighter. That's insane.
Yeah. It's like
it's so different.
It's stupid.
When you see them
just wait
in real life,
just wait. It's going to be really exciting.
But thanks for hanging out. Make sure to join the Discord. Jen put the link up there in chat. We got 3,000 plus amazing artists just like yourselves hanging out over there. Tons of great inspiration, great conversations to be had, great friends to make, and all the latest updates. We let you know when new products are available, product updates, announcements of new stuff going on at the company, cool events, all that kind of stuff. So join. And make sure to show back up here on Tuesdays and Thursdays like today. We start at the 2 p.m. Pacific time U.S. slot and go till 5 like now. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we start at noon Pacific and go till 2, our hobby lunch. So join us any of those 5 days during the week to have some great fun, watch some models get painted, see some paint dry, ask some questions, get techniques that you can take off and make your own journey that much better. And we'd love to see you back. So stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will catch you mañana.
Bye.
Adios, gang. We're out of here.
Bye.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't like a convention exclusive, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Did you pick up any